PKA 572 with our guests Brad the Rambler and Flesh Simulator Taylor.
This episode of PKA is brought to you by Blue Chew, Lock and Load, our wonderful merchandise, and also Woody. It's way past episode 572.
Is that what I said?
We're in the 700s.
I don't remember it like that.
Way further than that.
You can't prove it.
We got Tom or Flesh Simulator, and we got Brad the Rambler, a couple of conspiracy gurus, guys who know their shit, probably going to put us all to shame. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Conspiracy episode.
Problem.
I'm psyched.
Yeah, it's always fun, and I always have the problem with the conspiracy episodes where I spend like a day trying to get really into one, and then that conspiracy leads me to one that I like even more, and then I abandon the one I started with. Like I started out with Lyme disease, being like, Lyme disease is like definitely man-made, and I had just heard that one, and I thought it would be novel, and then I was DMing with Tom on Twitter, and like I just, it got brought up, and immediately he's like giving me encyclopedic knowledge where he's like, yeah, the guy who did it was Wilson Bergdorfer, and it was at the Plum Island thing, and it was this. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Well, I'm not going to do a conspiracy just so I can know way less than him on the show about that thing. That won't be interesting. But yeah, how did you guys do finding yours? Enticing? Good ones?
I've had ideas in the hopper for a long time, so I tapped into those.
I started out with the Bohemian Grove because I'm really interested in the Stanley Kubrick possible connections with Eyes Wide Shut and, the general Epstein stuff and global elite pedophile rings that seem to be just all the rage these days. Mm-hmm. But the more I dug into Bohemian Grove, the more it seemed like rich and powerful frat boys drinking beer at a retreat, out in the woods having a good time. Like there's definitely some imagery and some shenanigans, but no more than you would see in like Greek society, it's all based on something, but I don't think they're actually there sacrificing babies to Moloch.
No.
So I transitioned from that to something much sillier that I mostly made up.
That's how the best conspiracies are. Like some of the most fun ones to look into. I don't know if Brad and Tom agree, are like the ones that going in, you're never going to be convinced. I always go back to Flat Earth with this because it's like a window into such a weird way to think about the world where it's like a zoo more than like learning about a conspiracy. It's like, wow. So like, how do seasons work? And they're like, well, it's actually not this really straightforward thing that's easy. It's a huge amount of like different, like the sun just stops sometimes and goes in a different direction then to make spring make sense. Just nonsense. But I think we're gonna let Brad kick it off for us with whatever conspiracy you brought. You prepared? You ready? You look ready. Himself. Oh,
President John Fitzgerald Kennedy.
No.
Never heard of him.
Yes.
LBJ did it?
Damn. And then here's like a works-cited thing. Yeah.
Damn.
But
he's got a bibliography.
Spartacus Educational got most of the information from that. But yeah.
That's very interesting. It really turned up the intensity when we got LBJ in the mix.
Yeah.
And I liked that.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It kept getting better. I liked
Mr.
it. Well
Big
done.
Dick is back in town.
Very well done.
They called it a Peter until
Thank you.
Johnson became president.
Yeah, Johnson was like he was taking time out of his busy day of like sexually harassing staffers to do all these murders, which I think is kind of tight.
Oh, yeah.
So he was. I've always heard the tie-ins with him and JFK, where like obviously it wasn't just him, unilaterally making these calls, but he was connected. He was. I've definitely heard the thing that he knew ahead of time, the same way like it's claimed about a lot of these things. 9/11, Pearl Harbor, that we know ahead of time, and then
what were we gonna do?
Accidentally look the other way. Sometimes on the exact day you need those planes, they're doing some drill in northern Maine or some shit.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Damn, I didn't. Yeah. I was really mostly neutral on LBJ. I guess I was slightly positive because I thought like making people like listen to you while you shit rules. That's funny. But other than that, no, he seems like a bad dude now. I don't like it.
Now he's straight up cool guy of the week.
Not if he helped get rid of Kennedy. Kennedy was cool guy of the week. I liked him more.
You say potato, I say potato.
30 years before I was born.
Oh,
25, whatever.
I would contend with Kennedy. I don't know. I don't know if he was a good guy.
No, really? You think he was maybe a little skeevy?
He made his brother the attorney general.
I think there was a reason.
That's true.
He spent his free time
He sent the
fucking
IRS
models and actresses.
Cool guy of the week.
Dude, he fucked Nancy Pelosi in her prime.
Is that a true rumor? Like
He
definitely.
It's a true rumor. It's a brand new one.
Have you not seen the picture of like prime,
you see those torpedoes?
fucking, just jugged up 1960 style jugged up Nancy Pelosi prime, and he was hitting 100%. He was, and so I still like him even if he did that shit.
Smacking that ham. Yeah, like the thing is,
keep it kosher, Mr. President.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That was a good one.
It's so much more detailed than mine.
Oh my gosh, this is a tough act to follow. Who's jumping on this grenade?
Not me. No, because he had a works cited page. When we do these conspiracies, sometimes literally I'll like see one of the bullet points because I always just write down pages of it. And I'll admit, in the past, I did it on the Helen Keller conspiracy years ago. There would be something that I couldn't find any evidence for online that I just included anyway. that I just claimed. Where it was like, she didn't give any.
So I was looking into Israel because they're evil, and I was researching the skin bank that they have because Israel has a population of like 9.5 million people, but they have the world's largest skin bank. And I was looking into their data and what they say the skin bank is. And it's like, we almost always get permission to take skin. And it's like, what do you mean almost always? How often are you just, and because of something about the religion there, a lot of them aren't organ donors. So it's like, where are you getting the most skin? They've got this surplus of skin. Where are they getting it?
Can't all be foreskins.
It can't all be foreskins. You can't patch a guy together with 8,000 foreskins. It just won't work. It'd be disgusting. I don't know. It might work. Aren't there some stem cells in that thing? So I started thinking about that and the fact that they're clearly harvesting the bodies of Palestinians and using their organs and their skin for nefarious means. And I wanted to delve deeper into sort of biotechnology and Israeli warfare. And I found this like huge scattering of information online about how Israel apparently has been, and the title of my conspiracy is Beasts of Zion, Zoological Conspiracies.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems
and your evidence are these photos where you typed inputs like "show me a hawk with lasers."
Yes.
And
absolutely, I have. So these are based on eyewitness testimonies and press releasings. I'll have you know, these are AI renditions. Of course, I don't have the hard data myself. I didn't go behind enemy lines, but there are many reports of skyborne surveillance from starting in 2011 when a Griffin vulture was captured by a hunter in Saudi Arabia. It was wearing GPS trackers and camera technology. There was a European bee eater, which is another kind of bird found in Turkey. Same thing. It had audio receiving equipment, and its beak had been replaced with audio receiving equipment. There was an eagle shot down in Lebanon that was declared by Lebanon to be an Israeli spy. It was part of, they said it was some research project, but once again, it had advanced GPS technology and audio and video receiving equipment on board. Are you still showing the eagle? So go to the...
Go to the other ChatGPT animal fusion.
Yeah,
I put in.
Tell me the Jew dolphin. So dolphins. The dolphins are also being employed by the Israelis. Hamas claimed that it had captured a dolphin spy off the coast of Gaza that was outfitted with cameras and other weaponry all the way back in 2015. And there's also another alleged dolphin that was deployed to intercept Hamas naval commandos in 2022. And Iran state media labeled a robotic dolphin designed by Israel that they had discovered. The IDF offered no official comment, and neither confirmed nor denied type things. There's also, show them the shark. The shark's very interesting. So during
it's the same as the dolphin.
It's similar.
You were so impressed by Brad's work cited, yet you shit all over Kyle's.
I don't know.
I got an image of the act. Hey, look, hey, I got the dolphin right here. Look at the Star of David on its fin.
That's
Look at those swimmers. Those are Palestinians. All right. It's stalking the waters.
Mhm.
All right. So in 2010, several shark attacks occurred in the popular Egyptian resort of Sharm el Sheikh. And the government blamed it on sharks that were sent by Israel. One shark was found, once again, fitted with a GPS tracking device and other electronic surveillance equipment. The Israeli government called the theory absurd. He's seen Jaws one too many times, one official remarked. Sharknado? No. Shark Mossad. All right? Show him the dogs. Show him the robo dogs. Okay? That's going to convince him because I've got some doubters. Okay? We got some doubters out there. Maybe
is this the one where you were trying to... You had to go 6-pointed star.
Yeah, they don't want you to put a Star of David on there. I really had to trick ChatGPT to get the ones I got. So now we all know that the Israelis have been raping Gazans with specially trained commando dogs. These are dogs that are bred to have large penises and to be extremely horny. It's been reported many times that they are in fact raping Palestinians with dogs. But the IDF also apparently has been using dog commandos, once again equipped with all sorts of electronic devices. Some say with the skin of the dead Palestinians that they had raped. I don't know how that would help them or aid them, but I'm reading it right here off this thing I wrote.
It seems like Brad knows something about the robot dogs or the molesting dogs.
Well, the thing is that apparently Israelis had been doing this for a long time, using dogs to rape people. Like this was happening back in the 1970s in Chile underneath Augusto Pinochet. Yeah.
Yeah, I have that right here in my notes.
Crazy shit.
No, you fucking don't. Yeah.
Show him the lizard, Zach. So, February 18th, senior Iranian military advisor accused Israel and the West of using lizards and chameleons to detect uranium. He claimed that their skin is absorbing atomic waves and revealing the locations of nuclear facilities. The international scientific community widely quiet on the issue. Okay, almost suspiciously too quiet. Cold-blooded to Cold War. Nuclear lizards. That's the future. And of course, and this is that is a spy cow. I found no evidence of spy cows, but I thought it'd look cool.
You were on a roll with the images, so you just let it ride.
They really should have put the Star of David on the cow if it was to be a spy. Giveaway.
Well,
hey, it's kosher.
It's kosher. Exactly. The idea was that the Palestinians thought they had stolen an Israeli cow and they had made it one of their own, when in fact it was a spy cow. Now show them the pig, because that's based on evidence.
How many do you have?
Well, look, the Israelis employ a suite of cyborg animals for a number of nefarious purposes.
Kyle, these are all just pictures of robot animals with a Star of David on it.
And you can see that it's stomping through a vineyard in the settlement region of Palestine. They use these pigs. This is factual. Okay. It's documented.
I believe you.
In 2014 to 2016, Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas accused Israelis of releasing wild boars to, quote, terrorize farmers and destroy crops. A 10-year-old the same year was reportedly attacked by one of these boars in the West Bank, reinforcing local suspicions of international release by settlers. That sentence doesn't make any sense. ChatGPT is not always the best. December 2022, a village elder from Yanun, which is a place we all know, claimed that Israeli cows were being recruited and trained as spies.
Right there in El Noon. Okay.
Yeah, right there, downtown El Noon, right by the Quick Stop. It used to be a nice neighborhood. Now they got spy boars.
Right. So the boars were also
robotically enhanced, yes, and perhaps demonically imbued.
You can't disprove it.
See in the eye.
Yeah,
I did have the glowing red eye, reminiscent of evil, and also the Star of David there, similar imagery. I tried to get the boar to be destroying an olive grove, but apparently that's culturally significant, so they wouldn't let me do that.
An olive grove? Is it like an Italian AI?
No,
they won't let you do that.
I think they do olives there, and it's literally a thing that happens. These Palestinians have been raising olives there for like 1,000 years, and then they come in and they chainsaw their olive trees down while the old couple cries. You haven't seen those videos?
I scroll past those things pretty quick.
Oh, wow. I'm a big fan. I like to see what's going on. If you paid more attention, you know about the robo-boars.
I guess you're right, because you've told me about now there's mice.
Well, yes. The Israelis have also been accused by the Yemenis of
it's the same picture over and over and over.
It's consistent.
It's consistent. The Yemenis have accused the Israelis of employing electronically imbued rodents to damage crop shipments with their feces and also to spy upon them.
So when you say electronically imbued, like do you know?
Well, you can see right here. There's an exoskeleton.
Well,
like what are they putting on it?
I mean, like not according to ChatGPT being asked to make the most robotic mouse possible.
Yes.
But I'm curious what they claim the actual
cameras, weaponry, and GPS equipment. And I know on the dogs they put these microphones on the dog so they can talk to the dog and give it orders while they watch it carry them out on camera remotely. So yeah, the Israelis, as always, extra evil. I also I did a second one, but I'll do that later. I just got a quick overview of the Ken McElroy situation. He was the town bully who was shot by 40 people, but there are no witnesses.
I look forward to that one too.
I'll do that at the end.
I hope you have works cited on that one as well.
I do. Wikipedia. Wikipedia is my works cited.
Nice. I want Taylor to come back.
I think Taylor's got something interesting for us. I've seen him pawing over his pages for days now.
Do you remember? Did he give us any hints? I'm trying to remember what we said pre-show.
I honestly don't remember either now.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about the format of our presentations, and he showed us papers that he was flipping through, but I don't remember the topic.
It's a dead internet theory, I believe.
Oh, yeah, that's what I talked to him about that yesterday, I think. But
Did Taylor phone a friend and get help in his presentation?
No.
It sounds like he talked to you repeatedly, and you had comments on...
I mean...
I hope you're in his works cited.
Yeah. I feel like he's putting his name on the group project and leaving yours off. I can go next, get it out of the way.
I mean, I wanted to know a couple follow-up things for Kyle. What did you discover new about the skin bank? Because I remember when you were sending me articles about that 2 years ago, and I'm like, this is so reprehensible. It just feels how could this be? How could such an evil thing be real? But then it is true. Well, is that even conspiratorial?
Their end of the story, I've seen interviews at the skin bank of skin bank workers or whatever, and they're like, "Oh no, it's wonderful what we do here. We help burn victims, and Israel is so often attacked that we need tons of skin because we're always getting burnt up by terrorists." And it's no, that's just the numbers don't add up for that. You're not so continuously under attack that your population of 9.5 million people needs the world's largest skin bank for just your private usage.
Are they selling it?
Jive.
Are they
That's the theories. The theories is that they are selling the skin and the organs internationally.
I mean, I always assumed that it was just because, most of the people there are Ashkenazi and they're living in the desert. They're just getting sunburn all the time. I thought it was just I'm not even joking.
Makes a lot of sense.
Maybe it's it's some dude who's my family's been here for 3,000 years, and it's you're Polish. It's you're not meant to be in this amount of sun, brother.
You're from Philly. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But I actually know. I've read a little bit about this skin trade. In the 2000s, it was actually found out that a sort of a morgue or some sort of mortuary business operating in New Jersey was engaging in the illegal organ trade, and it was operated by Israeli nationals, and that this was somewhat connected to another case in Israel where an American citizen was actually organ harvested. When their family got the body, the eyes and several organs were missing.
Pretty ghastly. But at the same time, you do have to... You almost have to respect the grind of how many pies Israel has a finger in. It's like, wow, like those guys are working. Like they're grinding.
Yep.
So good for them, but also not so good. You shouldn't be selling the skin of genocide victims. That's probably not a good thing.
Oh my God. Preachy.
I know. I'm such a fucking lib.
You swear.
At least the Nazis were making lamps.
That's so ghoulish. Like, imagine going to someone's house and be like, wow, an antique lamp. And it's like, what's that? It's like, you know what it is. It's genocide victim skin. Was they like, have they found actual lamps made of skin? Like any sort of mass produced from any genocide, like stuff made of skin? I've never thought about it before, really.
It was supposedly
number
found
on it
during.
Yeah, that's how you'd know.
Oh yeah, it's got like a nipple. It's got a human nipple on there, but like supposedly
like
some
really
were
nasty pork
displayed.
rind.
Yeah.
But like supposedly after some camps were liberated, like some lamps and books were bound in human skin, and they were found in the possession of like some official working in the camp. I don't think it was widespread, but just some sort of ghoulish thing somebody fucked up did.
I mean, I could see that, because like we know that like serial killers have like made lamps and shit out of human skin. Using it for like a book cover doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, it seems like our skin would be horrible for like durability, right? Like compared to cows, compared to all the animals.
No
our skin
way. Once
probably
you
sucks.
tan it, no, it'd be great. Just like I've had gloves that were made out of pig skin. Our footballs used to be made out of pig skin.
Yeah.
That's the same as our skin. Once you tan it and treat it, it's going to be great. I forgot my conspiracy lighting earlier. I wanted to. Dang it. I was looking for my fog machine too, but I can't find it. They lost
Do you remember when you turned the fog machine on like years ago and you were like coughing?
Dude, while I was moving the other day, I was like, oh, my old fog machine. And I was like, still got some juice in it. And like my girlfriend is like feverishly like packing crystal away and like stuffing paper in it so it won't break. And I'm like going, fucking pumping the whole house full of smoke before she realizes it. She's coughing and wheezing. The fire alarms are going off. It's great.
So something fun you can do with a fog machine is that all the fog machine juice is just watered down vape juice, and fog machines are just giant vapes. So I like had a genius idea one time during like a live stream or something that I was doing to just so that because I wasn't allowed to like vape on TikTok live, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like have this fog machine going with like watered down like nicotine vape juice in it.
You
and so
hotboxed a vape.
I just hotboxed like the room I was in with a with nicotine fog machine fog, and then like 5 minutes in, I'm just like, oh, guys, I need to. I'm. Oh God, no! And then this,
it's in your eyes. It's in my eyes.
Yeah.
That's
a good idea.
I never
That's an
considered
expensive way to smoke nicotine, though. You got to use you got to burn through a lot of juice, I'd imagine.
Not that much.
I love my
a little goes a long way.
I need to buy one and try it. It seems fun.
You don't have a fog machine? Every adult man should have one.
I don't. You didn't have to put me on the fucking spot and embarrass me like this.
Point out his lack of fog machine is not cool.
All right, Woody, you seemed excited. You seemed ready to rock, ready to roll. I want to
I'm
hear
that guy who likes to get the presentation finished and then enjoy the rest of the class.
Okay.
No.
Well, I'm happy to go too, if that's what you meant. But you can.
Zach, bring it up. Meet Markieff Morris.
Thank God you put who it was presented by.
In case you had questions.
I'm expecting fucking MLA format.
Signed his work.
We'll be answering who is Markieff Morris, the incident, what happened next, and those 3 sections were meant to be removed.
Add section 5. I'm excited for section 5.
I started with a template. All right. This is Markieff Morris in 2017. He was a power forward with the Washington Wizards. He was a good player. He never got an all-star invitation, but he did win a championship a few years later. Solid starter. Side note, this is unrelated to the conspiracy. I've always thought, given the crime rates, Washington Bullets was a more racist name than the Washington Redskins. But that's just me.
Fitting, though.
This is Markieff after rolling his ankle. He left the game and he was ruled out from playing. In the second game of the Eastern Conference Finals in 2017, look at that ankle on the left picture.
It's bad.
That guy's ruined. He was unable to leave the game under his own power, and he was ruled out. This was not a good thing. They needed his help. In the very next game, he scored 16 points, pulled in 6 rebounds, and had a handful of sexy assists. It was his best performance, not just of the series, but of the entire playoffs that year. And he showed no signs of injury. There's a picture of him in his Washington Wizards uniform. But the thing is, I'm lying. That's not Markieff Morris. That's Markieff's identical twin brother, Marcus. Marcus Morris is his identical brother, who also plays in the NBA. These two guys are incredibly close, to the point that they have matching tattoos all over their body. I swear to God, this is true. Fact check me.
What?
These guys are so heckin' ride or die. When they went from high school to college, they would only go if the college would accept both of them on the same team. Once they made it to the NBA, obviously they were drafted by different teams. That's how it works. Markieff, our boy here in question with the rolled ankle, signed at a reduced salary at a discount so they could bring his brother onto the Phoenix Suns also. These brothers live together. These brothers have a joint bank account together as adults. Their mom has warned any future wives that they're going to have to accept the 4 of them cohabitating in the same house together. This is a ride or die pair of brothers. You might be wondering if they're the kind of ride or die guys who would pull a scam on the NBA, right? Like, it's another level from just sharing a house to like swapping out and having your twin brother play in your role. Oh, they've done it before. They did it in amateur ball. They switched their jersey right on the flipping bench. It happened real quick. He hurt his ankle. I fouled out. I gave him a little limp as I headed back in like I was hurt, and I kept playing. Dude, what I contend, oh shit, the last slide's not here. That's horse shit. Anyway, the last slide says, this is not the natural, where an injured athlete comes back and regains glory. This is the Parent Trap.
Oh, okay.
I thought of the Parent Trap.
Yeah.
When I was listening. This is great. I'm glad that they scammed the NBA.
It's duplicity.
Okay.
I haven't seen that.
It's you get duplicate and it's duplicity.
Yeah.
What's happening? So you get it's better. Anyway, clearly,
I appreciate it.
I like your theory. I'm shocked they have the same tattoos. I'm like not 100% that you're not just fucking with me and just duplicated that man's photo, because obviously they're like twins are identical. I get that, but those are exceptionally identical twins. If you know what I mean, like they got the same goatee, like they got the same tattoos.
Yeah. But their teeth even look the same.
And they're complicated tattoos. There's lots of cursive handwriting all over his chest and arms.
Zach, can you pull it up again?
Yeah,
that's great.
The tattoos specifically feel like they're just trying to trick people.
If you go,
they're just having fun.
Slide,
good for them.
You can see their nipples are slightly different. But I know for a fact this is true. In Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Final, there was no pregame nipple check to ensure which player it was.
Tweak your nipples, bro. They're gonna find out. Tweak them.
Thanks, Zach.
I mean, if you were fibbing, you got me, because I believe it totally.
Google
they fibbed,
having
and that's great. Good for them.
Having a twin would be so great. I feel like it would open all sorts of doors for you, like especially like, you know, when you're going through like school and early jobs and stuff, and it's not the end of the world. What they're doing there is on a national stage, on a global stage. Hilarious. I can't
believe I forgot my hat for the presentation. It ruined everything.
How long? You look like the Queen of England. What the fuck? Jackie made that, huh?
Style. Oh, okay, Jackie may have made the hat. Yes.
Oh, you're not amazing at arts and crafts? Weird. There's a fucking like gemstone in the middle or something.
I think it goes like.
But if you're audio only, you're missing out because Woody has like a coronation hat on, and there's a big green bow, and it's all aluminum foil, and it crinkles when he moves it. It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
You know what I like about that conspiracy? Tremendously low stakes. Like just, and sometimes those are good ones too, where it's like, yeah, you know, people fool each other all the time. And if I were a twin, like Kyle was saying, like, I 100% would be doing hijinks with my twin.
Has there ever been a time when
school?
Has there ever been a time when you'd be like, oh, if I only had a twin to send in today, I've got a stomach virus and I need to like qualify for the team, you know, like that would be so clutch to be like, oh, evil Kyle, I need you.
I always thought it'd
Why
be
would
nice
you be the
if
good one?
we could like share the duties when we went
people
through
listening.
college and just share a degree afterwards. You know, we don't have to have one identity, of course, but if we could split the workload, I'd be happy for that.
If you could somehow like make double the income and pay half the taxes, like if you could work that out somehow, like there's got to be some twin scam because they're genetically the same too. Like
yeah, you can't do a DNA check on them.
Yeah, there's nothing. You know, there's no distinguishing. I think there was a case where one twin was guilty of
distinguish them.
Like what if they I think there was a case where one of the twins had raped someone and there was DNA evidence against him, but he's like, we're not saying who did it. They both stand firm and they're like, fuck.
That's not nearly as lighthearted as Woody's conspiracy.
that was evil Kyle's idea. I'm just trying to get double off on DoorDash or something. He's the one doing all the rape.
Well, I don't know. I believe
Woody,
I
when
believe
did this
everyone's
happen?
conspiracy so far.
2017.
Oh, okay. I was thinking if sports gambling was legal at the moment, the under-over on points scored per game.
The only thing is, sports gambling, like basketball stuff like that, usually goes the other way where they underperform. They don't have the best performance of their playoff. Like, that's harder to guarantee. It's easier to, you know, come out and do poorly.
Would you
Are they
share
the
your
same
girl with
tier?
your twin? Would you share your girl with your twin? Because in the movie Duplicity, he creates those copies of himself, and he's like, "Did you fuck my wife? Did you fuck my wife?" And it's like, "I'm you. I fucked my wife."
Are these
No, I wouldn't
were these
share.
players like? I know they're identical in every way, but were their stat lines, their ability within the league similar enough they would get away with it? Because you said that one guy
it during the thing, but I think actually the healthy brother did not have as good a career as the injured brother. But that doesn't support my point, so I didn't bring it up.
And that's totally fair. I'm sorry I exposed it there because that's important. Okay. Well, I'm all in on that one. I'm definitely all in on Brad's LBJ RF or JFK one because, like, you got to work cited, man. I believe you. And I think only one of the links was Wikipedia.
It's multiplicity, not duplicity. That's the Michael Keaton movie. Duplicity is some other bullshit. Multiplicity, that's the comedy where he keeps making copies of himself. He comes up with a machine that'll do it, and they're to do his like extra chores and stuff. But then the copy of him is tired of fixing the sink too, so it makes a copy of himself to fix the sink while he does this and that and the other. But the copy's a little dumber because it's a copy of a copy. But it's also lazy, and it doesn't want to fix the sink either. So it makes a copy of himself until they've got like a retarded Michael Keaton walking around, like unable to fix anything, just being a sweetheart.
It's a good movie.
I haven't seen it.
It's good.
All right.
It's like The Prestige.
I know we want to
it's not
let
as
Tom go last because Tom's got a setup out there in the hallway. So I guess I'll do mine. I did two in case one of you guys happened to do something too similar to mine that wouldn't work. But the one I had more fun researching is an older conspiracy theory in the world of the internet. It's dead internet theory. And basically, dead internet theory, it's been around for over a decade, but it's one of those conspiracies that 10 years ago, 15 years ago, everyone was like, this is nonsense. Who stands to gain from, the internet being dead and being a Potemkin village style thing? But now people are coming around to it. And the principal assertion of dead internet theory is that frankly, an alarming amount of global internet traffic, engagements, likes, comments, bot behavior is totally inorganic. And that we are now at a point, as of 2024, according to a few different data analytics firms I looked at, where we are now true minorities as real people on the internet as of 2024. Some companies like Cloudflare say that happened years and years ago. The more conservative, not conservative like Republican, conservative like in their estimates, they're just now saying it, that like, yeah, we are now a minority. There are more bots than us. And so that's the core of it. And I think it's really reasonable because you look at some of these companies, Cloudflare, Imperva, a lot of them make annual reports called a bad bot report, where they use their data, their analytics, and they analyze the percentage of internet traffic that they believe to be organic or inorganic, like bots. And like I said, 2024 was the first time Imperva said we are true minorities. And you might say like, oh, well, that doesn't make sense because, there's no way 50% of every comment section on Reddit, on YouTube, on Twitter is all inorganic. And that's true. It's not 50% because you have to break down the types of bots. Not all the bots online are malevolent or insidious or something. They estimated that 14% of global online traffic in 2024 was good bots. So the kind of stuff that like crawls search engines to index web pages, just like useful stuff.
Wayback Machine.
Yeah, exactly. And so that stuff's fine. It's not messing with your ability to use the internet. But then they also said that an all-time high of, I think it was 38% of internet traffic, this company Imperva estimated is bad bots. And a bad bot, a lot of the data firms I found had different definitions for what they called a bad bot. But I
call them clankers.
The clankers? Yeah, I saw that. I saw the first slur for the for the robots, and I like clankers. And so they basically said these clankers, there's 38% of the internet being taken up by these guys. And a bad bot can mean anything from like a malevolent malware program that's trying to steal your identity and take out some fraudulent loan and rush with it, all the way down to a bot that just harasses you on social media because something's gone haywire and it's just bothering you. And so like all this to say, a bad bot just means unwanted behavior, annoying, unproductive behavior. And that's 38% of the internet. And this was from a very, very conservative estimation source. Like I said, Cloudflare estimated that, I think their number was 65% of global internet traffic is totally inorganic, bots, AI, not real. There's no person sitting there upvoting that Reddit post 10,000 times. There's no person retweeting or liking that post 1,000,000 times. It's not real. And so basically to establish this, we have to say there's both the means and the incentive to flood the internet with bots. And with a lot of conspiracies, you have kind of a core head honcho bad guy where it's like, yes, this is the sinister guy who's flooding the internet with bots. But that's not what it is. It's a lot of convergent independent interests. So like the entertainment industry uses bots on sites like Twitter, Facebook, and Reddit to create fake conversations, to drive astroturf narratives, to push people to go to the theater. They've been caught doing this. And so that's why maybe you go on Reddit and you see some post that's like, oh, Iron Man 24 is coming out. And then you go to the comments and everybody's raving. They're excited. They're jubilant over the prospect of Iron Man 24. And the point of that, those bots doing that, is to target you. And you're looking at it going, well, I'm a human in 2025, and so most of my reality is constructed by what the consensus on every screen I see throughout the day is. And so maybe I'm missing out. Man, I guess there's a huge amount of organic attention towards Iron Man 24. I need to go see it. And so that was an intentional way for the entertainment industry to use bots to manipulate your perception of reality in order to make you feel like like you were missing out. So you had to get there and do it. The University of Zurich, over the past half decade, have done a ton of research into bots in as far as using bots to manipulate and create manufactured consensus in forums like Reddit or Twitter or Facebook, Instagram. And what they found, this was, I think it was earlier this year or maybe last year, the University of Zurich did yet another one where they were like, you know what? I'm interested to see how quickly we could create an army of bots that not only manipulated people's perceptions on Reddit, because this was a specifically Reddit study, but also how quickly will they like assimilate into the rest of the site? Like, so that, you know, it's not just, hey, why is this account just commenting 100 times about Iron Man 24? Like creating a real looking identity that was commenting on different forums and everything. And what they said is, quote, it was phenomenally easy. It was so fast. They said that as like within a couple days, because all they had to do was train the bot army on Reddit style speaking, how people type, what the narratives they wanted push, what the ones they wanted kind of depressed were. And they said almost immediately they started leaving comments. They seemed to be organic, and they were rapidly able to start manipulating people's perceptions on these forums. And there was no way for people. This is the kind of thing that just a few years ago, or if this wasn't a study and if it was some like DARPA program, people would go, oh, you're crazy. That's just, you know, people are excited about this silly movie. But that's not the case. It's totally astroturfed. It's not real. We need to be more on guard than ever for this shit, because I can totally see how 10, 15 years ago, the dead internet theory, people were like, I don't know, man. It doesn't seem that way. Now, in the last 2 years in particular, since the explosion of AI and the ability to train these things even more rapidly and deploy them in mass, like the internet is as dead as it's ever been now, if truly over half of internet traffic is inorganic. But the scary thing is we're moving to a deader and deader and deader and deader internet every single day, every single month, every single year, because now these government organizations, these NGOs, organizations like DARPA, large industrial firms, entertainment houses, they all know now that this works. Like, it's not in the theory stage anymore. They know they can manipulate people's perceptions in order to drive certain purchasing decisions, certain outlooks, get them to vote a certain way. The 2016 election, like, that's like small potatoes. It was a big deal at the time, but like 10,000 Russian bots in 2016, like think of how much changed in 10 years technologically and what's possible now. And so it's not just evil oligarchs and Americans, it's foreign governments. We know Israel, China, Turkey, Ukraine, Belarus, the United States. A lot of these countries have been caught red-handed doing it.
Oh yeah.
And so we've established that the means to do it is there, and the incentive is there, because the proof is in the pudding. They can manipulate your perspective on things. A big example of this is way back in 2014, Reddit fucked up when they posted a traffic report, and it was meant to be a lighthearted thing where they're like, hey, this is where people use Reddit, and here's like the list of the most Reddit addicted cities. And then, you know, the purpose being that people could go, oh, I live in Milwaukee, or I live in St. Louis, or, you know, Dubai. I wonder where I am on the list. But they immediately had to take it down because they fucked up, and they showed the most Reddit addicted city was Eglin Air Force Base, an Air Force base with only 2,000 people that was responsible for somehow hundreds of thousands of accounts and all of these things. And it's like, really, that's really fascinating. And what do they do?
U.S. Air Force Base?
A U.S. Air Force Base. Yep, Eglin Air Force Base.
Home of the 688th Cyberspace Test Squadron, I believe.
Yeah.
And then actually on that most Reddit addicted cities list, the number 2 city was Oak Brook, Illinois, which is also home to some other big spooky data center.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know about the number 2 one. I just know that then I guess the top 2 were both compromised, inorganic, not real. And remember, this is way back in 2014. Shit has advanced a lot in that time. And so they immediately had to delete that. And like Tom was saying, this wasn't an Air Force base where they're like, I can't wait to be like Top Gun and fly around. It's like, no, they were a cyber warfare, a cyber division. They were studying how to manipulate people's perceptions of reality online, how to manufacture consensus on different, opinions about a potential conflict globally, trying to get more people on board and more people to change opinion. Like, they were studying this intensely. We also know the U.S. government did it through DARPA, which is the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. And anytime I've heard anything about DARPA, it's always very sketchy. And they still maintain to this day, like, yeah, just because you fucking caught us 9 times now doing this doesn't mean we do it. And so they'll deny it up and down. But they have been caught multiple times using bots to try and manipulate people's perspectives about geopolitical happenings and events. And it's really what DARPA is doing with the bots and the manufactured consensus and whatnot. It is the same shit that we mock China and Russia for doing with their internet. It's the same fucking thing. It's just us doing it. And so like, it's less of a hot button thing. We don't really draw that much attention to our own seedy nonsense comparatively to our geopolitical enemies. But the big thing is this is not even a political left-right issue. It's we are being deceived intentionally, actively, and systematically by powerful government organizations. And that has led to, and will continue to lead to, further explosion of the bot and inorganic content online to where 10 years from now, it may really feel like you're alone because we already have a phenomenally siloed internet now compared to what it used to be. Like we've got what are there, 10 websites?
Yeah.
Remember 2002? It's like, nothing on E-Bomb's World. I go to fucking, I got to go to Albino Black Sheep now. I got to go to something awful.
Dude, I would dispute that because I remember when I was a kid clearing the internet history after a good porn masturbation session. Like, all right, clear all this. But then there's nothing there. And I'm like, nothing seems worse than like bigbooties.com. So I'm just like, fuck. Coca-Cola.com? They must have thought I was going to be a soda engineer or something like that. I'm like, I'm going to Pepsi.com and Nike.com, just products. So there's some search history.
You were just going, I remember doing
USA.gov.
Yeah.
I didn't know any websites. I was just looking around the room. I was like, Kaiser Sozeing my way out of it.
Look at Mountain Dew 3 times. Just over and over.
I literally went to Coca-Cola.com.
The DARPA thing is unbelievably suspicious. They even have a subsection called the SMISC, the Social Media in Strategic Communications, and they've been active publicly since 2011. I'm sure prior to that they were doing their thing, but the entire purpose their stated purpose is to use bots, astroturfed internet behavior in order to quote combat misinformation, which misinformation is whatever DARPA doesn't like whatever the government doesn't like nobody ever fact checks something good for their side. You know, if a story came out, like when Trump is like deporting some person for being anti-Israel at a protest, they don't see a sign and go, I don't think that's factually correct. We got to get rid of that guy. Like, no, like if someone had a sign there that was like Trump saves 1,000 puppies a day, that's totally a lie, but they wouldn't be fact checking that, would they? Like, so any sort of fact checking, any sort of quote unquote misinformation control is just about narrative control in reality. And so, and something else, this is towards the end of it, you know, so I think I established that a huge amount of the internet is fake. It's increasing more and more every year. Even by conservative estimates, it's over half of the internet at this point that is AI, bots, not real, inorganic. There's no person on the other end.
That makes me feel better, though, because I like sometimes when I see a controversial Reddit post, like if it's maybe police violence or some riot or something, or an Israeli-Palestinian thing, I'll go and I'll read the comments. And it's like, oh my God, are these real people? Is this how real human beings think about anything? Like they seem so radical and like stupid sometimes that imagining that some of that at least is just a bad bot or a stupid bot or a bot that's meant to inflame someone like me so that I write some paragraph trying to disprove the ridiculous thing they just said.
It could be a bot from the U.S. government trying to manufacture a belief about an event that's inorganic to get you to think, well, I don't want to be the odd man out, because we're humans. We're so social. No one wants to feel on the out. And so
like
if you
10
see
or 15 years ago, like YouTube comments used to be normal, decent people that you could have a conversation with. Like I distinctly remember like being in the comments for hours after I'd post a video being like, yeah, it's this, that, and the other. Oh yeah, that is, yeah, I'm in Tennessee in this one. You recognize the sky. Like having normal human
now
being
those people are a bunch of weirdos, not like us. I'm glad you like my hat. I'm glad you like it. I was afraid I would look silly.
No, you look sick. And then this was like a side little addendum to the dead internet thing, but I thought it also helped elucidate the reality of how much more shallow the internet is than what we like to believe. Do you remember on Google how you used to be able to search something like baseball and it would say 1.7 billion results achieved in 0.7 seconds or whatever up there at the top? They've since removed that. They don't have that feature on Google anymore, which kind of stinks because that was always fun. But it was never that many results ever. Like type in baseball on Google. There should be billions of results for baseball. Billions with a B. There are 26 pages and 243 actual results on Google. It gives you the option to repeat the search with the omitted results included. Oh, okay. So I'm sure that's why it's only at 26 pages and not, 476,000 pages as it should be. So that makes sense. No, it's still that include previously not included results option gave me only 22 pages for baseball there. And so for years they were saying billions of results, hundreds of millions of results for all these things. And 99.9, like that's barely hyperbole. 99.9% of people never leave the front page of any sort of result. Most don't even scroll all the way down.
You're 1,000% right. Pornhub pulls the same scam. If you type like Elden Ring characters' feet in Pornhub, it'll act like there's 26 pages of results. But you get past page 1 or 2 and there's no more videos.
I knew you'd be on my side. Yeah. So yeah, it's like the internet is so much more shallow than we think, and it's so much more artificial than we think. And I'm blown away by it.
I like when they step on.
I had actually posted a meme once that had referenced how all the dark secrets are actually on the second page of Google. And then I got hundreds of DMs asking me, how do you get to the second page of Google?
Well, it's the two.
Almost like,
damn.
It's hopeless.
Yeah.
I'm curious, have you guys, Brad or Tom, have you guys heard about that? Like, because I did more on the dead internet thing. The Google thing was like towards the end. Like, have you heard about that? Like the amount of results being so mismatched?
And so something that was really interesting about the Google results thing is there was an like kind of this expose recently. Also, let me know if I need to turn my mic up.
I think you're okay.
You sound good.
Okay, cool. There was an expose recently, and I say recently, but it was like probably like a year ago or so, about the way that, like basically why Google search had gotten so much worse so quickly. And because, we can all remember the point, probably in like 2021, 2022, where just, it's like, hey, Google doesn't work now. This sucks. Mm-hmm. It turns out that it was the result of one specific guy at Google who got, basically he was put in charge of the, Google search, whatever. And he came up with this idea, like a plan to increase the total amount of Google search traffic in order to increase the number of basically ad impressions that Google AdWords can sell. So it's like, the amount of ads that they can show on basically the amount of ads that they can show to people who are searching for things on Google. Mm-hmm. The way they did that was they just made the results twice as bad, so you had to scroll twice as long to find what you're looking for. That was actually straight up their methodology. Genius. And it immediately worked. And the guy was like, hey, yeah, like, check it out. Like, I've increased search volume 100% overnight. And I guess Google was just like, good job. And, yeah, no, so, like, that guy got promoted, and I guess presumably to ruin other things. Mm-hmm. But they're still kind of trying to unfuck that. And I think at that same time period when they just sort of been like, oh, well, shit, we've got enough of a market share that people, like, we could make our product twice as bad and people won't even, like, notice or, like, really even say anything. They'll just be like, oh, I guess it's just twice as bad now. And I think that was around the same time. They were like, hey, let's, first of all, let's stop pulling as many results when you have to Because, like, the way if you want to search for anything on Google now, you have to use the search flags, like the search operators, file type, whatever, in text, using the quotes, using all that shit. And so, like, you really need to get fucking specific with what you're asking Google for, and you need to be using it closer to, like, like find and replace or something, where you're looking for actual specific strings if you wanted to index the whole thing. But I think, they just sort of realized, hey, it would be way cheaper for us to only, pull like the first 400 results or something instead of, index, all 2 billion every time. And I think it also ties in hand with, and I'm going to get a little conspiratorial here. I'm sure that's going to be shocking given the context of this episode, but I think they are using that, like, they are absolutely, I think, using that as a form of censorship.
Sure.
Like, I remember that happened to RFK in the primaries. Like, you tried to, like, look up, anything for his campaign platform, and you got brought to everyone else's.
Yeah, they did. Where you would try to look him up, and it would be like, did you mean Kamala Harris?
That might have been a good idea, though. Like, sometimes the bots are trying to lead us to the promised land. This is one of those cases. That's just guardrails.
I'm not a fan of RFK by any means, but I do think that Google did just straight up put their thumb on the scale with that. Mm-hmm. Whether or not, your thoughts on that.
If he was the president right now, oh my God! Like, do you think this is wacky? If RFK was president, we'd be fucking.
No one would watch the State of the Union.
Exact same. We'd still be talking about the Epstein list.
Oh, yeah, we'd be dropping seed oils on Iran.
We probably would. It'd just be giant amounts of Red 40. We're dumping right on their heads.
People are RFK juniors in the
the
too.
Red 40 sticks to kids.
Oh yeah,
I bet it does.
RFK's statement on that was hilarious. He's like, I've had Epstein at my house. I've had Bill Cosby over at my house. I've had Epstein. I've had who was the one who I've had P. Diddy at my house, and I've had Weinstein at my house. What's the big deal? And I'm like, dude, stop talking.
Next, you're gonna say that you've never had your wife commit suicide.
Dude, that shit's so dude, cheating on her so many times and like keeping a memoir about it is like psychotic.
Alpha males do, Taylor.
Despicable. That just despicable immoral behavior. But I'm totally on board with them using Google that way to censor. For the I was trying to find more examples of the dead internet theory where like it was clearly bots being used to push certain narratives, and one that I couldn't find sufficient evidence for as far as like a direct this then this then this like chain, but I am convinced is all of the Kamala Harris memeing, all the coconuts, all the brat, like that was to me that was the most clearly inorganic, astroturfed, foisted, top-down thing that was being pushed by the same kind of bots that push all sorts of things. And it's not a political thing because
that was a
bots
PR group
pushed Trump
around a table.
too.
That was a PR group around a table, like throwing shit at the wall. Like, what if this and that? We got young and perky and a rebel but we won't go against anything that the octogenarian's been doing for the last 4 years. No, that's all fine. Like, that's where she lost like so many kudos in my estimation, when they asked her if she would do anything different, And there was one point when she said something like, food prices are going to be lowered on day one. And the guy from Fox News is like, why don't you lower them now? It's like, fuck. What a great question.
Damn it, I'm the vice president. That hurts me here.
You can just feel the difference between organic and inorganic sometimes. Like for better or worse, the upswelling under Trump back when the Donald was big, like in 2015 or 2016 or whatever, and Reddit seemed to just get taken over by conservatism. Like, the whole front page would just be, and it wouldn't even be good posts. It'd be like the Trump train, like an animated choo-choo train.
I don't know that felt like organic to me. That's what bots do. right? They take a totally liberal place and they took it over like that. Trump got fewer votes than Hillary, right? It's not like there was this huge upswelling of Trump love. That's what it would be like if bots promoted your posts.
That's all. I agree, but I think it's also what it would be like if a group of people who had never really felt represented before, the ones who voted for him that never vote, had suddenly had this outlet online. Like, wait, y'all all agree? Y'all are like me? You think this is funny? Great, upvote. Everything upvote. It seemed like a coordinated, like it was definitely manipulating the vote system, but it was like suddenly there was a subreddit where their thing, second only to making funny content, was upvoting everyone's content and and sticking a finger in the eye of like liberal media.
Wrong censorship, right? If you said anything, you got banned from the Donald.
Oh yeah, that's all. That's all.
Well, that's stuff. Reddit.
Yeah, that's just Reddit.
No, the conservative Reddits are special in that regard.
Even if you go to the trans
all
Reddits
right now, like that now.
Yeah, Reddit is the most censored site on the entire internet. Like, there's
really
no site more heavily censored.
I'd say that like all of Reddit is basically as heavily censored now as, you know, the conservative subreddits were probably, you know, circa 2015, 16, 17.
Okay.
Like now it's just because, and I think it just has to do with the kind of person who wants to be a Reddit mod now.
It's tribalism. It's protectionism, and it's also like propping up certain narratives that won't hold water without that sort of that sort of protectionism. I know there's a subreddit that's about subreddit drama. It's that's what they do, and I saw them focusing on. I think it was one of the trans subreddits. The trans men are being treated badly there. The people born with vaginas who now want to be short, hairy, fat men are finding that there's no love for them there. And that really the movement seems to be about feminizing and turning dudes into pretty girls. And that there's a big audience for that, but not so much for turning women into short, fat, hairy dudes. And they're getting mistreated there.
Wow. So the trans people with dicks are more popular than the trans people with vaginas.
Yes. Not only, and more accepted.
There's way more of them, I think, right?
There would have to be. Look, I don't have any statistics, but, well, that's the other thing. Maybe there's not. Like, you know, maybe there's not, and they're just not seen as much because of that bigotry within the trans community, those bigots.
Yeah. But that, like, Reddit as a whole, just the way it's set up with the upvote system is so easily plugged into by the bot manipulation tactics, where you can just deploy a few thousand bots and totally take over a Reddit forum and downvote the things you don't like, have the things you do like upvoted, astroturf the conversation in the comments. Like that does happen all the time, and that's not specific to Reddit. It happens on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, these things as well. It's just specifically the upvote and front page system incentivizes it and makes it more easy to manipulate. Sorry.
Yeah, it's the only thing that gives like the general public direct access to the ranking algorithm.
YouTube used to. That was a bright and shiny day when they used to actually care what people thought about videos that got uploaded and show them to the people who subscribed to you. What a novel concept.
Tell me about it.
Yep, not anymore. Now it's just a total crapshoot.
So weird. Yeah, it's so weird. Yeah. And I mean, that's clearly also about being able to shape your own narrative on your own website. Because if it's all user input that shapes your front page, then you are not in control. You are just hosting content, which is what YouTube was supposed to do. But they don't want to just host content. They want to shape opinion on a global scale because they're the second, third, maybe the number one most visited site. I thought Google used to be 1, and then YouTube was 2 or 3 or something. It was something like that. Like, imagine the power that you used to be able to get. You could put your video and pets and animals, and suddenly you're on the front page to the 3rd most popular website on the planet. You know, it was an incredible amount of power to give your user base.
YouTube is 2. I didn't realize it was 2.
Yeah, YouTube's number 2.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as the Donald stuff and whatnot, I could totally buy in that there was some bot shit going on the Donald, trying to boom that up and make it big. I'm sure it is. Like Like that's why I said this is not a politics specific conspiracy.
Yeah, no.
It is people in power will use whatever tools they have at their disposal to manipulate our thinking and manufacture consensus on issues. And that's right, that's left. They all do it.
And it's corporate.
Yeah.
It's often corporate or foreign governments.
I can recommend,
yeah. Go ahead, Brad.
I can recommend a book on that, Propaganda by Yaquz Ul, actually. Very good, very good. Also wrote a book called Technological Society. Very good stuff. Essentially talking about the real, how the sausage is made. Yaquz, spell it Jacqueus.
I believe even Chowder might have not known
and
that
then
spelling.
Ellul.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Jacques.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Brad, I thought you said
Jacques.
Yaqub.
I looked up Yaqub too, and I'm like, isn't that the black guy that invented white people? Like, isn't that conspiracy?
The other book's called Trichnological Society.
There's conspiracy unfolding before our eyes. If you look at the Paramount merger with Skydance, and Colbert being fired and the Late Show being taken off the air permanently and all that stuff. The new episode of South Park, I think it came out today. I don't know if y'all saw it.
Oh, yes.
It's
haven't seen it
so there's been like
Paramount.
there's been like 3 years now where there haven't been any South Park episodes. Woody, they've been doing these specials for Paramount, and they had some contractual stuff going on between Comedy Central and Paramount on the distribution rights, who was going to get the next season, where it was going to go, where it would be streamed, who would have exclusivity over the library, etc. And it was a big deal, and it's been going on for a while. Matt and Trey tweeted recently that like this merger is fucking up the new season. Like they said it plainly on Twitter. They got a deal done like within 2 days after that tweet. $300 million a year, 10 episodes a year for 5 years, and then we figure things out then and go again. So, $1.5 billion deal, 5 years, 50 episodes, 10 a year, 5 years.
For South Park.
For South Park. The richest comedians in the world now, the most successful comedians of all time now. And so today, the new episode comes out, episode 1 of the 27th season, maybe the 28th. I think it's 27th. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, it's a takedown of the Trump administration. It explores the Paramount merger with CBS. It explores sticking religion back in schools, whether you like it or not. And Trump, who traditionally, ever since he won that original election, they were having him portrayed by Mr. Garrison, the gay teacher, and kind of having fun with that. But they've dropped that act. They right away they go to Mr. Garrison's house to like give him what for, and he's like, no, I'm all out of politics now. He's like with his boyfriend with a little Pomeranian, and so like now they have a Trump face.
They made him Canadian. I don't know about that.
They made him a little Canadian. That was weird. But
not a little. The whole way.
To the South Park movie when Saddam Hussein was it's Saddam's face like on that weird animation and its head like yaps like this. Yeah. They've done that to Trump, and it's like Trump looking all nasty, but like it's animated in a way where it's like, yeah, that's just a picture of Trump. They shit on him the whole time. They're showing his tiny dick. The whole episode. The whole episode is him with a baby dick having sex with Satan himself.
They can show that on Paramount? Even like fake?
Oh, it's completely uncensored. I don't want to spoil the ending of this episode because it went so far that it reminded me of that scene from V for Vendetta when the Comedy Hour show makes fun of the Chancellor too much, and then the Chancellor sends the goons to go beat those people down and black bag them. At the end of the episode, they completely like leave the South Park universe, and they're like, we have agreed to do 50 pro-Trump promos. Here's promo number 1. and it's I didn't know they could do all that. I didn't know AI videos could look that real, and I didn't know you could show that much nude.
Oh, they used AI videos?
At the end, when they change gears and they do a promo. I really don't want to spoil it. It showed way more.
I'll have to steal that later tonight because I'm not paying for Paramount.
It's I thought it was the best episode in a really long time. Obviously, they've just been doing those pandemic specials and a few other different things, so it hasn't been South Park as usual.
Is it a real episode or is it a special?
Yeah. This is a 10 episode season. That's the deal. You know, the big $1.5 billion deal. This is the beginning of
Tiny Penis Trump trying to bang Satan is the beginning of the 10-season arc, maybe?
Yeah, I mean that's what episode 1 features pretty heavily, is a tiny dick Trump being mad about his tiny dick and yelling at people and threatening people. And he's in bed with Satan, and Satan doesn't want to fuck him, and he's like, "Come on, look at this!" And it's like his dick is like incredibly small, just incredibly small, and that's the main focus of the episode.
Oh, Satan wanted Trump to fuck him in the ass?
No, the other way around. Like I don't know what Trump wants from Satan, but Satan's like arms crossed in bed, like, "Oh, I heard you're on the Epstein list."
That's pretty fucked up for Satan to cheat on Saddam like that.
I think Saddam's. Yeah, it's true.
I'm not sure about the timeline. Is it that? Taylor, are you not paying for Paramount out of fiscal responsibility or a free speech like thing?
Oh, no, it's literally just I don't think there's anything on Paramount I'd want to watch other than South Park, and I just can't rationalize getting a whole streaming, because I've done that with Netflix before, where I get Netflix just as a Seinfeld machine, and then a month or two later, it's like, all right, I should cancel this again because I'm not getting any more value. No, it's not a principled stance. It's just it's just me not.
They've got all the Star Trek. I got to have Paramount. It's got all the Star Trek that's ever been trekked, so I like having it.
So what is the deal with the Paramount merger? Like, what? Is it because it's like it's potentially monopolistic and so it needs approval? Like, what is the hang up?
Yeah, the FCC, right, has to approve the merger, and Trump is not going to let them merge, and he has them at a disadvantage there. So that's why they settled. The 60 Minutes lawsuit, it was like 12 million, 15 million or something that he got, or I don't know where the money actually goes.
But why does he have to approve it? Is it because like after a certain size of businesses merging, they need government approval?
I don't know. I just know that whenever there's a large media merger like this, it requires government approval. Okay. I've always heard that come up when there be big mergers like this. I don't even know what Skydance is, but that's what Paramount, CBS, or whatever is merging with.
I have no idea. Honestly, though, I've got like 4 full years of South Park I need to steal before I even catch up to this Trump episode because I haven't seen any of them in so long.
There's probably a bunch of it on our Plex.
After Tegrity Farms, I really checked out. I did not like that.
A lot of the specials were kind of hit or miss.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The specials I saw, I didn't think were as good as, like, even when I watch South Park now, I find myself going back to, like, the Scott Tenorman seasons, like season 5, or the canceled one. I think that's season 7, where it's like, I can take any form you like, Earthlings. And then they like have him turn into like a taco shitting ice cream. Like, yeah, that's pretty good.
I did.
And then they get canceled.
I'm sorry. I thought I caught a pause. I did a quick Google. Anytime there's a transfer of FCC licenses, then the government has to approve the merger. So that's how Trump has them by the short hairs, which he's used to get like CBS's money, Colbert fired, 60 Minutes' money, stuff like that.
He won another lawsuit for $200 million today. I don't remember who was paying, but it was another one of those they're settling to Trump and bending the knee kind of lawsuits.
Yeah, that's the thing. Trump's enriching himself personally with lawsuits he could never, ever win. But since he has the power to hurt them in ways outside of court, they settle. Like, nobody thinks George Stephanopoulos would have lost that suit, like the CBS one. No one. Fox News edited Trump's Epstein answers more than they edited the 60 Minutes thing was edited with Kamala. But no one's suing Fox. It happens all the time.
Trump is
edited for time. Trump is suing Wall Street Journal.
Fox for what?
No, he's suing Rupert Murdoch because the Wall Street Journal posted
Fox,
the letter, and now that he's on the Epstein list, like they're still going after.
Dude, I'm glad he's getting guff from all sides. He's been doing a bunch of gay nonsense.
And then today he's at the Fed, right? The Fed is building some buildings. The Fed is an independent organization, the way I understand it. They're not under his purview at all, which is why he can't fire that Powell guy and get his interest rates lowered. He doesn't have that ability. He can't do it. It's separate. But he's there wearing a hard hat, inspecting the construction of this building, and he's got some like bullshit paper, and he's like, yeah, you're way over budget and behind, and he's like shitting on this, and the Powell guy's there for some reason also wearing a hard hat. It was absurd.
The Powell guy fact checks him in real time. Trump's like, it cost $3 billion. He's like, no. And Trump's like, yeah, it says here it's behind budget, whatever. And he's like, no. And he hands the paper to Powell, like his proof. He's like, you're including a building that was built 5 years ago in this, Yeah. And he's like, well, it's part of it. And he's like, you're taking the small budget and including something out of scope in this budget to make a lie. And I thought Trump looked like a lying asshole.
Yep. He's like, well, that's enough of this. Let's take these hard hats off.
Let's change the topic. I'm getting fact checked by someone who knows what they're talking about.
Oh my God.
Brad, what's your take on the whole likelihood that we actually get any sort of meaningful info from the Epstein list? I'm of the opinion it's like too many people are compromised and they're going to lead us on and fuck with us and never give us shit.
I think it's going to be like some tertiary things. Like with all these new releases, there's always a couple little nuggets that make it somewhat worthwhile, but nothing revelatory. Like with the JFK release, it really just sort of showed their sources for domestic intelligence that the CIA was using, and it was like MI6 and Mossad, that sort of thing, since the CIA isn't allowed to do domestic business, but they just get one of their partners in the intelligence community to do it for you. Like this was another thing that happened kind of recently where one of the main groups main entities now doing domestic surveillance for our government is the Canadians.
Mm-hmm.
And the Canadians were probably spying on Trump's campaign, and that's where a lot of this information came from, and that's why he's not exactly a big fan of Canada at the moment, or was a couple months ago.
Okay. This is like Safari Group adjacent stuff, right?
Well, it's more like Five Eyes currently, but the Safari Club that's a can of worms.
Relevant.
That's a can of worms.
That's
relevant, yes.
I believe we'll be touching on whenever I work on my thing.
Okay, cool. Well, then let's not blow it. Hold on, I'm going to get a water, and then I want to hear from Tom because I have a lot of confidence it's going to be good.
It's a dark day today. Hulk Hogan passed away at the age of 71. The Hulk mania has ceased to run wild, and a quiet falls upon the gentle face of America. I couldn't care less. It's a shame that he had to tie himself to MAGA there at the end and lose what remaining fans he had and get booed out of that arena in California.
Well, there was the racist stuff before that.
Well, see, here's the thing about the racist stuff. He was being secretly recorded while he was in bed with a woman, and he said some stuff. And it's doesn't take away from what he said, but at the same time, it's like,
was it race play?
No, it was it was commentary on whether his daughter had a black boyfriend, I think. And he was if you're gonna date a ninja, at least date a rapper or a athlete or something.
I thought the way you said that made it sound like he was saying it during sex.
It was post-coital, I believe. They were kind of sitting there and having a little conversation, maybe getting dressed, and he's kind of shooting the shit.
Gotcha.
But the fact that he was secretly recorded and while he's naked, it's I don't know if I want to judge him too harshly for what he said there. It reminds me of that actor from Seventh Heaven and how his shitty wife recorded him admitting in therapy about some pedophilia. It's all right, it's good that we got that pedophile, but I mean, Jesus, when was he going to talk about it? He was crying about his regret for something he did decades prior to a therapist, and this lady recorded him and took it to the cops. It's like I don't like either side of this at all. So I don't know. I let Hogan's racism go.
This quote is rough. Here, I'm going to read the quote, but before I read it, he never says fellow in this quote. Hogan was recorded to have said, I'd rather she's going to fuck some fellow. I'd rather her marry an 8-foot tall fellow with $100 million, like a basketball player. I guess we're all a little racist, fucking fellow.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
I mean, this is not a good guy.
R.I.P. to him.
Only guy to
Go ahead.
Only guy to ever complain about diarrhea and say the N word on a sex tape that I've heard of.
Mm-hmm. Even Mel Gibson didn't hit that. And he has perhaps the funniest voicemail of all time. I don't know if anyone's will ever beat the Gibson tapes, but also we'd be remiss if we didn't also pay a little homage to Theo Huxtable. R.I.P. Passed away.
Did he
watch that show?
Am I right about that?
What?
Did he drown? How'd he die?
I think he drowned.
Yeah. They don't
because
swim
he
well,
wasn't he wasn't super old, but he drowned.
He was like 53 and he died drowned. I looked into it because I was like, did he like trip into a kiddie pool and he's just that incompetent? I always like to think black people are really bad swimmers and they die comically and
you like to think that. That's not
in gentle bodies of water. but apparently he was out swimming at the time and then drowned.
People die all the time because they can't
yeah.
swim well. But I never hear about people dying because they can't throw or catch. Tell me swimmers don't rule.
No, you're also biased. That's going to be your next conspiracy. You're like, actually, how swimmers have the biggest dicks and are cool. Yeah. All right. So R.I.P. to Hulk Hogan, Theo Huxtable, and who's the other? Ozzy Osborne.
Ozzy Osborne.
Yeah, Prince of Darkness.
Yeah.
Did you know how Ozzy did his last tour? Right. I think it made like $200 million, like maybe $180 million. He donated all of it to charity.
Nice.
And the reason his voice has been so slurry for so long, apparently, is the painkillers to deal with his back pain. So he didn't take the painkillers so he could sing. And I guess he was in a tremendous amount of pain. They had him like secured to a throne so they could move him around on the stage.
Poor guy. Have you seen that funny clip of him? Maybe it was during the Osbournes from years ago, where he's like coming out of his room, seemingly kind of fucked up, and he's like, "Sharon, someone took my beers. Someone has stolen the beers from my room." And she's like, "Ozzy, no one's stolen your beers. You probably drank them. Just get more from the refrigerator in the kitchen." He's like, "My beers are being stolen."
Most plausible reason.
So, it's like probably like 10 empty beers on his nightstand that he crushed. Thinking they're stolen. Yeah. All right. Well, we gave the in memoriam segment of the show. Tom, are you prepared? You ready to blow our minds?
Yes, I need to get the laptop. 1 sec.
All right, cool. Oh, I'm excited. I love conspiracy shows. We should do this at least once a year.
I'm thinking once every 3 or 4 years. Yeah.
Once every.
Give the fans what they want.
I think we've nailed an effective tempo.
every 5 years. No, I like this kind of show. The ones I don't like where they're like, "You guys need to do another episode where you drink like 2 bottles of vodka each," and it's like, that sounds awful. Let's not do that one again,
dude. Who's the biggest alcoholic on YouTube? What's his name? Also eats glue.
Shoe Nice?
Yeah. Dude, he always comes to... I had to ban him from my streams. The guy won't leave me the fuck alone.
Shoe Nice is
he's always giving me shit.
Your mic is going to be so loud.
Dude loves... I had too much Shoe Nice. I couldn't take any more.
Oh, no.
Dude, he's just... he's aggro.
All right.
This is going to be wild. This mic is not going to work. It's going to be piercingly loud.
Can I have a count of 5 count?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I mean, it almost works for me. It sounds like conspiracy, Mike.
It does sound like a conspiracy, Mike. I'm okay with it this time.
I'm gonna try to avoid showing the.
It's working.
Inside of my.
Ooh, it's got more mysterious already.
Yeah,
we got his fingerprints, fellas. Wow. We got his fingerprints.
I feel like I can see your heartbeat.
Taylor, why aren't you wearing your hat? Are you concerned you'd get outdone?
All right.
Yes.
So, let's see if I can. This is the.
What the fuck?
This is amazing.
Love this.
It goes down here. So basically, this is, and I feel like I'm a little bit cheating here because this was the setup for because I did a video recently on World Trade Center 7 and the connections therein. And I wanted to kind of use this to go over a little bit more of the actual way the connections work.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh my!
To start with all of this, how 9/11 pilled are most of you? All of you, whatever.
I think all of us are pretty much in on it not being what it seemed. The Building 7, the Flight 93. Woody actually did Flight 93 as a conspiracy years and years ago, and so
I'm pretty open-minded.
We're all pretty open-minded and
it was Israel. It was Israel.
I mean, in some ways, yes. We can go up to this guy and this guy and this.
That's actually Israel right in the middle.
Yeah.
That'd be funny if
I thought that was air traffic patterns of America. I saw Miami, New York, Denver.
But yeah, so this whole thing right here these are all of the tenets of World Trade Center 7. And what's interesting is that if you look at the actual tenet list, one of the things that really was the most shocking to me, because it's SEC, which at the time held the files for pretty much every financial scandal of the late 90s, early 2000s, WorldCom, Enron, all that stuff. All those files got destroyed. All of the Enron files got destroyed because they were in World Trade Center 7. The insurance company that took out the let's see if we followed this up here, the $4.5 billion insurance payout on the asbestos film Twin Towers, that was housed there. The interesting thing, though, is basically these two guys, Khalif al-Midhar and then Nawaf al-Hazmi. These two people were there was a filing that was released in a couple of years back. It was 2021. These two were being recruited as CIA assets. Mm-hmm. The interesting thing is these were also hijackers. These two, two of the hijackers on 9/11 were straight up just CIA assets. And they're being managed by this guy, Omar al-Bayoumi, who worked for Urcan as kind of a no-show job, which was a government contractor for Saudi Arabia. And that is how, that's one of the many ways that Saudi Arabia connects to the Safari Club. And really the reason this is in the middle is that this is the thing that it got brought up earlier. It's this sort of unofficial agreement between, Brad, what was it? It was United States, Israel, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, and there was a weird
France.
European... Yes, France.
France, yeah. Morocco.
It was kind of circa 1970s originally, mostly, right?
Yeah, it really came about because of the church committees. So the CIA had to kind of play nice in-house for a little bit, and so they had to do things off the books with other security agencies, and that's kind of the reason why the Safari Club was kind of created in order to continue their operations in Africa and the Middle East.
Okay, yeah. So it was a way for the CIA and the U.S. to work transitively through other countries to keep themselves distanced from our goals. Okay.
Yeah, basically as proxies initially, but then the way it kind of continued on, and the reason that it was still kind of a thing was that it allowed in countries where there's limitations on their foreign intelligence services operating domestically, they would be able to use basically they would just sort of do a hey, have your guy come here and do this thing that we want to do here, but we're not allowed to. Okay. And so that's why this guy was in the U.S. because he was, and the way the whole money system worked was that money went from Alex Station to the Saudi embassy, which sent wired it back to Saudi Arabia, washed it through Urcan, dispersed it to this guy back, and then he would bring it back to the U.S. to give to these two people, paying for lifestyle and rent, shit like that. These two were Al Qaeda members. The Carlyle group, which David Rubenstein was one of the. It's hard to the problem with anything that's like a mesh network like this is that there's no real clear place to start.
Yeah, I mean, it looks unbelievably complicated.
Mm-hmm.
That's more string than I've ever. I don't think I've ever used that much string for anything ever.
Yeah, but it's like,
how much string are you using, Taylor?
None, no string. I'm stringless.
That's the real conspiracy.
Damn.
Yeah,
so you got the CIA, the IRS, the SEC, Department of Defense. When I watched, and I'd heard a lot of it before, but when I watched your video on Building 7, I was like, the tenet list of Building 7 is like a conspiracy theorist's dream. It's the most,
it's the shadiest thing in the world.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's got, the Solomon Brothers, half the building was Solomon Brothers. The Solomon Brothers got bought out by Travelers Group, who merged the City Group. Travelers Group was one of the other companies in which with whom the World Trade Center complex was insured. Citigroup was basically considered to have more or less caused the .com bubble, but they wound up completely escaping it because all the files tying them to that, all the SEC things, all those were destroyed. I'm trying to think of anything that I had to cut from the video.
Yeah, I'm sure you had to cut a lot because you're getting pretty deep there. And I think you even said at one point, you mentioned the Safari Club, and then you were like, well, we can't really delve too deep into that because that's, persona non grata shit. Yeah.
And, there's obviously, urban moving systems, that's, if this is getting uploaded to YouTube, I think I probably have to stop there with that, lest.
Yeah, don't get us banned. Just stay on the safe side of it. And so I guess as
they were a dance group.
Yes.
They were just a dance group, and they
were
just happened to be 9/11 when they were having a good time dancing. So as honest as you can be, without risking bans and censorship, who do you see as kind of the principal responsible parties for Building 7 specifically? Because I'm sure it was multifaceted and there were lots of different competing interests.
For Building 7 specifically, I think that was mostly the financial sector.
Okay.
And I think really what happened was that, it was a sort of let it happen on purpose type situation for, the attack on the two towers, which, kind of engineered by the CIA, but then it was to a certain degree massively exacerbated by our greatest ally. Through things like certain art installations.
Okay.
Floor 81.
Floor 81. I don't know how much of our audience is familiar with that.
It's so basically for the entire year leading up to, that tragedy, there was the 81st floor of I think the North Tower. Don't quote me on that. It's one of the two. Was rented out and basically occupied the entire time by this art collective called Gelatin, which was it was a group of Israeli art students, but then the art collective itself was run by this Austrian guy. But there's just so many just weird pictures of them where they're just posting with drawings of planes crashing into buildings and
Really? I didn't know that.
Like, let me see if I can find. Need to go to like one of those.
Tom, you're telling me it was ran by an Austrian painter?
That's what happens. Yeah, that's what happens when you don't let them. That's what happens when you do let them go to art school.
Yeah, it was ran by a rather eccentric. I think he was 141-year-old painter. He'd been in fucking Argentina for many years.
What's the guy's name? Yeah, so it's a group of 4 artists from Vienna, Austria. Okay, here I'm just reading off Wikipedia right here. One of Gelatin's best-known art projects began in March of 2000 when the group removed one of the windows on the 91st floor of the former World Trade Center complex and temporarily installed a narrow balcony while a helicopter flew around the scene, taking photographs to be later documented in their book, The Bee Thing. There was also a picture, like they took control of the electrical system of the building at one point and had the windows spell out E-Team.
I've seen that. Yeah. I think that picture.
Oh yeah, and like the thing with them is like, you know, there's one of these pictures that's just the 4 guys in that collective, and it's like none of them are the Austrian ones. It's just a bunch of Israeli guys, and they're standing in front of like this wall of boxes of like detonator fuses. That's really suspicious,
dude. If I were in charge, I would have been like, "Don't fucking take that picture, morons!" Yeah. Like, why would you do this?
Like, don't dab on them.
Yeah, don't
be Fortnite dancing.
Yeah, that's like a teabagging. That's like, we're gonna get away with it. Fuck you. Yeah, that's the tough thing about talking about some of these more consequential, I'll say, conspiracies, because you have to be so measured on platforms like YouTube and everywhere, because if you get too real, you will be banned. Like like you literally can't get too real with some stuff. And I see that in your videos. I see that in a lot of conspiracy videos where they'll be like, and then, you know, I've brought you up to this point, and I pray you can make the necessary connections between where I've left you and to the end point, because I can no longer explain this without jeopardizing my channel.
Yes. It's funny you mentioned that. Like in the new South part, there's a part where Jesus Christ himself comes down. He does a sermon on the mound, passing out bread loaves, and he's like, all right, here's the deal. He's in charge now. What he says goes. He's the president. He's got all the keys to power. So we just gotta eat it. He's like, shut up. Don't say that. We'll get sued. Like he's telling everybody to shut the fuck up and eat it. It's I really like the new episode. I hope this whole season's gonna be maybe not harping on the same thing, but to that quality. It was really good. But yeah, you know, can't be spreading misinformation about powerful people, Taylor.
Certainly not. That's not appropriate. You just need to internalize the narrative, foist it on you, and move forward. That's how you know a good honest American goes. So 9/11 Building 7 is the sketchiest shit of all time. Very obviously skeevy at the very least, you know. I don't think, and then the problem with a lot of conspiracies is there are groups that sort of overplay the level of conspiratorial behavior and they ruin it for everyone. And so they'll say like, actually 9/11, yeah, I know you have all this evidence for like seedy financial interests and things that make sense and convergent interests, you know, causing things like this. But actually, the planes were holograms and they were just missiles. There was no plane. There were all those people on every plane were fake. And it's like, fuck, like this kind of person is so damaging to people actually trying to learn the truth because they discount all of it for others. Because someone who's casual and trying to learn about it sincerely and genuinely, they're going to see that and they're going to go, wait, holograms in 2001 flew into the, you know, then I suppose everything these people say is nonsense.
In 2001, there was a TV show called The Lone Gunman. It was a spin-off of The X-Files. And in the spring of 2001, there was an episode of The Lone Gunman about the government hijacking aircraft and flying them into the World Trade Center to start a foreign war. To start a foreign war. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say 7 months later, 9/11 happens. There's a scene in that episode where they're like flying the jet into the World Trade Center from the cockpit. Like they called it. Like, again, 6 or 7 months before it happened.
The predictive programming shit is so interesting to me, but I haven't done my due diligence and I don't have a good inroad to it. Tom, Brad, like you guys seem like you probably have a solid handle on a million examples of it. Can you help us understand it?
I'm kind of honestly like this is gonna get me a ton of flack from like all the conspiracy people online. I'm not really convinced either way on it. Like it seems like there is to a certain degree. Like to a certain degree, I think it's certain like a completely real thing, but it's like to the extent that people claim, I think that's like sometimes just the numbers 9/11 turn up.
Yeah, it's like there's no avoiding genuine circumstantial stuff.
In the same realm of conspiracies, I suppose, I saw a leak today that said that evidence of alien life was to be revealed later this month. And it sort of fits the mold of Trump throwing anything into the media to possibly like distract from the Epstein thing because it's sticking. That's the only thing that's ever really stuck, but it is.
It'll continue to stick, I pray. He can get fucked until he releases that shit.
I mean, look, the problem is that he was championing it during his campaign, and his surrogates were certainly championing it. And all of his, the MAGA influencers were like harping on it. And like the more extreme voices were going hard in the paint, like no place for pedophiles, left, right, or center. We're going to burn them all at the stake. Soon as Big Daddy Trump gets in there and casts the list down from on high. And then they're like, wait, what? You're not, what do you mean you might be on it, but it's all lies? Who made it? Obama. Wait, getting Obama?
Kyle, you're falling for a classic Nancy Pelosi trick.
Some of those hardcore voices you're talking about, Kyle, are in the administration now. And they just get to play like, them before they were Trump's stooge and them now that they're Trump's stooge.
Yeah. Some people aren't like backing down, some of the more extreme people. But still, it's not going anywhere. I could see him releasing evidence of alien life. That's all I've ever wanted. Since I was a kid watching the X-Files, I had this belief that I remember my mom was like, what is this even about? I was like, I'm like 9, the government. They're hiding the aliens, Mom. And she's like, what government? And I'm like, I don't know, but they are. The cigarette smoking man, aren't you watching this? And I a little bit of me still believes that like maybe they did discover some alien technology in the 40s, and that's allowed us to sort of dominate technologically for decades and decades and do all this innovation and stuff that we've done. Maybe Men in Black is a little bit of truth. I'd love it if that were true. I like deep conspiracies that are like far reaching and consequential. It's one thing that the one that I've got still, this Ken McElroy guy or whatever, a town killed a bully. Like, all right, well, the town got rid of their bully, but what if the conspiracy is how we got like the internet and cell phones and lasers and shit? I kind of like that one more. I would love it if they released it. I would forgive the Epstein list if he showed us the little gray men.
It would have to be a baffling amount of alien knowledge for
what if he introduced you to the Epstein? What if he was like, all right, this is Miku. He's from the planet of Rixalon. Hey, Trump's not on that list, just so we're all clear. I looked at it myself. That's the first words that alien speaks. They're exonerating Trump from the Epstein list.
I'd trust him.
I believe Trixo here. He never lies. That's the race. You guys can't lie. Is that true? I heard that's true.
Go ahead.
I was going to say that like this whole conversation reminded me of something I saw like 2 or 3 days ago on Twitter, which was just someone put the word aliens in like the triple parentheses. And it's just like,
like the Jew dog whistle thing. Yeah.
I'm not familiar with this dog whistle. Triple parentheses means they're Jewish.
Yeah, that and mostly at this point it's people who are Jewish doing it ironically. But and like I've got the triple parentheses around my name in a Discord server, and then like there's another guy who joined and he put 6 around his name because he's saying he's more Jewish. But
he's having a classic Jew off.
Yeah, but yeah, just misusing those. Like I think aliens is the funniest example of someone just putting them around just a word that doesn't make sense.
Well, who knows? They could be Jewish aliens.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just running cover.
Maybe he's not he's a different kind of alien, right? He's just not here legally.
Parentheses around that.
This is Jose. He's an alien.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of aliens, you remember
Kyle,
the guy
before you do aliens, we can bounce back to it. I'm late on ads. Sorry.
Oh, yes.
Go ahead. Yeah.
All right, folks. This episode is brought to you by Blue Chew. Let's talk about sex. Guys, shouldn't you always be at your best? 2025 is the year to maximize your performance in the bedroom. Listen up. BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part, it's all done online. So no visit to the doctor's office, no awkward conversation, no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package, a very discreet package. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. Chew it and do it. And we got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use promo code PKA at checkout. Just pay the $5 in shipping. That's BlueChew.com, BLUECHEW.com. Promo code PKA to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And big thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. Once again, that is BlueChew.com, BLUECHEW. Use code PKA at checkout. Just pay the $5 in shipping. And as always, get the Tadalafil. That's our show recommendation. Kyle recommended it to us. Mm-hmm. Woody and I enjoyed.
Won't go wrong.
Treated us right. Never goes wrong. So check it out. BlueChew.com, promo code PKA. Get your first month free. This episode is also brought to you by Lock and Load. Folks, the premium ejaculation increasing supplement is taking the world by storm. Everyone's talking about it. You probably can't go to your corner store without hearing people in the aisle next to you talking about Lock and Load. It's 6 pills a day. They're not giant pills. They're normal sized pills, no matter what anyone says. And they are going to make you bust big. And this isn't, you know how you can tell we're telling the truth here? You don't need 2 bottles. You don't need 3 bottles to get to the primo efficacy dose. About 3 weeks in, you're going to hit your max on 1 bottle. If you don't like it, don't buy anymore. But if you're trying to have big comes like a big boy, then you are going to enjoy it. You're going to like it. Lock and Load. And code PKA, code Jizz for 10% off Lock and Load. And 10% off all the protein powders, supplements, energy drinks, weight loss supplements, everything over at GorillaMind.com. You get 10% off of with code PKA or code Jizz. And also, remember to buy hats, stickers, sweatshirts, T-shirts, everything over at our store. And the code there is PKA10. A lot of you don't use the code, and that's fine. Pay the extra 10. We don't give a fuck. But use code PKA10 if you want to pay less. And so check out all the wonderful sponsors. And while you're at it, make sure to check out Brad the Rambler and Flesh Simulator on YouTube. You're going to enjoy their content. It is excellent. Kyle, sorry to interrupt you. You were back to aliens.
No, I lost it. No, that would get me. Miracle. That would get me off the Epstein thing. If he brought out the little gray or green men. I'm not racist. I'll take either kind of alien. But it needs to be that large-headed, big black-eyed alien with the small.
None of those purple bastards.
No tentacles, anything like that. If we've made peace with them, I'm gonna be upset. I need strictly humanoid aliens who are here to,
if the aliens don't have hands, I want nothing to do with them.
I'll be happy with any sentient alien. I just don't want to hear there's some evidence of life on some planet because some spectrometer thinks that there's carbon dioxide. Oh, fuck off. No, we need to have a smart alien.
Yep. We've been hoodwinked.
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna get me off the list, yeah, like I'd be happy if we heard some bacteria turned up on the Mars. But if Trump's gonna get me off of his kitty diddling, I'm gonna need to talk to this guy. ET needs to phone me. I need to talk to him and see that he's real and not some sort of James Cameron nonsense either. They can't fool me again. I thought Avatar was real for like 6 months.
Damn.
It was well done.
Shouldn't say things like that publicly.
I mean, honestly, I'd settle for one of those like little antenna like EBDB guys. As long as it's something that has like kind of a visible corporeal form. It's like even if it's just like a ball, it's like okay, alien ball.
As long as it's alive, because
Alive,
the Teletubbies.
I will not be hoodwinked by that horse shit. Because I remember my buddy sending me like a link to a science.com article in maybe like 2010 where he's like, it's proven 100% life on Mars. And then I click the article and it's like, scientists who are desperate for more funding think that there could be a microscopic thing. They think they see what could have been the remnants of a microbe on Mars. And it's like, no, I want, for me to give a fuck, it's got to have like eyes. It's got to be able to do things. It's got to be able to, move around. I should be able to see it with my naked eye. I don't give a fuck about those tardigrades. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You're coming off kind of tardigracious.
Tardigracious. That's probably what I am. Oh, man.
I would be happy with anything. But again, if Trump's going to reveal something, I want to see like a
He's
ship.
not.
Or at least a body. If they wheeled out a body, that I would. If they wheeled out
an alien body, we're talking
about. Yeah. They like bring out like a silver.
Not a child's body.
No, well, maybe a child alien body, like a hot one. They like wheel it out, and it's in one of those silver chambers. There's a lot of smoke and mist, and they crack open the chamber, and like this is a fucking Neptunian fucking soldier. He came here trying to start some
strong point. If there's no fog machine, I'm still talking about Epstein.
There'll be natural fog from the cryo process. It's one of those Walt Disney type machines. You know what Walt Disney's final words were?
Something about Jews.
This is probably so cold.
Ow, at least freeze me first before you cut my head off.
I'm still alive. I'm still very much alive. His final words were Kurt Russell.
Really?
Yep.
So he saw that ahead. I don't think Kurt Russell was even born yet.
He was born and he was working for the Walt Disney Company as a child actor.
Yeah.
Well, that shows how much I how old is Kurt Russell and when did Walt Disney die? I pictured him being one of those guys who died in like 1938.
Kurt Russell was acting in black and white Western like TV shows when he was like 10 or something like that. And you're like, yeah, that's little Kurt Russell. Like his face sort of, it didn't change. Like sometimes you look at a baby picture and you can't tell who that was, but it's like, yeah, that's Kurt Russell.
I brought this. It's not as fleshed out as the dead internet one, but I was curious what Tom and Brad knew. Are you guys familiar with the conspiracies surrounding the Titanic sinking?
Yeah, the two of the guys that went down on it opposed the Fed, right?
Yeah,
leaving the gold standard.
Yeah, so
Jekyll Island.
You know about it, Brad? You know, Tom? Seems like Kyle does too.
Yeah.
I'm vaguely
well, no need to go into it now. I mean, no, that sounds interesting. What's it about?
It is interesting, dude. What do you
know
about
it is. I'm
mostly vaguely recalling actually my girlfriend telling me about this one. Basically just about the kind of really odd coincidences with it's like a couple of the people on board and how that made it very they were like a real kind of thorn in the side of the powers that be trying to create the Federal Reserve. And that's about as far as I know, but I have heard of it.
Okay. Yeah, this was really interesting to me. Yeah, man, Brad knows all this shit. John Jacob Astor the Fourth, Isidor Straus, and Benjamin Guggenheim are the three people who were on the Titanic who were wealthy and powerful enough in 1912 to form a meaningful resistance to the creation of the Federal Reserve. Meanwhile, the people in favor of it was largely JP Morgan, as far as like the uber powerful people in favor, because a lot of people were, JP Morgan and the Rothschild banking family. They were very much in favor of getting a central bank going, a Federal Reserve up and running.
Also the Rockefellers.
The Rockefellers were in favor of it as well.
Yeah.
And so you had a lot of powerful interests on both sides, but turns out one side was a bit more powerful than the other in the end. And the three that went on the Titanic, John Jacob Astor, Isidor Straus, Benjamin Guggenheim, they had their wealth. Astor was a real estate mogul. Straus was Macy's, the Macy's fortune. I had no idea that Macy's as a department store has been around since like the 1850s. I had no idea that company was that old. And so like when I looked it up, I'm like, wow, this guy must have founded Macy's and like been a big, hullabaloo guy. No, like he was like inheriting and growing it, and not, he wasn't some lazy bum. He did grow Macy's into a huge thing. But all these guys were overtly against the formation of the Federal Reserve. And what they don't tell you is JP Morgan had a ticket on the Titanic. And he personally invited those three guys on the Titanic. And 2 days, I think it was maybe 3, before the departure, JP Morgan said, oh, fiddlesticks. I can't make it. I've got business in France. And so he backed off. He didn't go. And there were also other individuals who wanted the Federal Reserve made that had tickets previously and then backed out in the last 2 days or so. That includes Henry Clay Frick, a steel baron. He had a ticket, backed out. Guglielmo Marconi, he invented the wireless radio. He was not a rich guy, but JP Morgan saw a huge amount of potential in his discoveries and kind of had him as like, you're my science slave now, bitch. And so he had a ticket, and then he didn't go. Theodore Dreiser, he was a journalist heavily in favor of the formation of the Federal Reserve that had a ticket, then backed out at the last second. George Washington Vanderbilt II, the coolest name ever. That guy, he was a railroad magnate. He also was very much in favor of the Federal Reserve. He backed out at the last second. And all of them cited, or I think maybe just the railroad magnate cited, that the reason he backed out at the end was a, quote, family warning. He said someone had contacted someone in his family and relayed that he should tell him, you should not go on the Titanic. And it was also Robert Bacon, the Secretary of State and financial ally of Morgan. He had tickets and he didn't end up going. Another thing is JP Morgan, who owned the Titanic, he also owned the IMM, the International Mercantile Marine, or the IMMC, the International Mercantile Marine Company. And he owned the Titanic via this. And he was responsible for not allowing enough lifeboats to be made for it. They said before it departed, hey, this doesn't actually live up to even 19 teens regulations. You should have enough lifeboats for everyone on board. This is pretty baseline. And because of his control over that organization, he pushed it through anyway. And so there was a real understanding that this guy who owned the Titanic, JP Morgan, he was in control of, he wasn't picking the amount of boats, but he had the ability to override people who would have delayed the departure and the journey on those grounds. And so to me, and I didn't spend nearly enough time looking into it, it seems straight up conspiratorial that all these people, died on the Titanic. Seemingly no hyper wealthy people who were in favor of the creation of the Federal Reserve died on the Titanic. They all canceled beforehand. It was only opponents to the Federal Reserve that died there. And the fact that JP Morgan was like, he hated these guys. Astor, Guggenheim, he hated Strauss, disliked all of them. And so it just makes a little too much sense. It's a little too serendipitous on his behalf that this would all happen in his favor. And so I'm also convinced myself of that. I'm a retard, so I can be convinced of anything, but like makes sense to me.
Part of me is like, you know, why would they choose a murder method where a third of the people survived, right? It's not a very good way to solve your problem. But then again, our first conspiracy had a murder method of suicide by bolt action with a 22 5 times. So sometimes people do dumb things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it was the 19 teens. There's a little factoid about the Titanic that a higher percentage of women in third class survived than the percentage of men in first class.
Of course.
And so that was just a thing at the time. Like, even if you were one of the wealthy business magnates, you probably weren't getting on the boat. Like, they were pretty stringent. Like, no, women and children, you can get fucked. Like, get out of here. And so who's to say? I do agree. It seems like a very convoluted, expensive way to kill these people, but I've already made my mind up.
It was actually underinsured. I looked into that. The Titanic was. The 3 dogs survived, 2 Pomeranians and a Pekingese. The ladies hid them in their coats.
Interesting.
I'd tuck little Murphy in too. Of course, I'd got on one of them boats. The women and children first, my ass.
Fuck them kids.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting on that boat.
Do you guys have any, Tom and Brad, like pet conspiracies that maybe aren't even that consequential to the world, but you just have a deep interest in? Like the Titanic. I guess the Titanic one was pretty impactful with the Federal
When you said
Reserve.
pet conspiracy theories, I was like, you mean like dogs and cats? Like, I don't know, like they're in charge? Like they're pulling the strings?
No, just like a personal fave. Like, I am convinced, and it's low stakes, that the NHL gave Pittsburgh the draft pick that got them Sidney Crosby. That was not random. That was intentional. They were trying to save a dying franchise. Totally inconsequential, but I'm all in on that one. So something of that.
I think most of the major sports are scripted. I heard recently, I wish I could remember the details, but I don't know basketball players. Someone was saying they heard the coach be like, hey, make sure you book rooms in like the city where the finals ended up being. But it was like months before the finals. He knew who they would be playing at the end of the year, and that it was them. It was like, make sure you book those tickets in Jacksonville. And it's like the season hasn't been determined yet, and the coach is booking tickets for the finals that he's going to play in. I saw that guy that played with LeBron in Miami today come out and be like, yeah, LeBron got busted for steroids. He had to take 3 weeks off and say it was an ankle, and then he came back all skinny. So I like those. I think the NBA and for sure is a scripted sport, big time, and the NFL seemingly too. There's been lots of weird moments.
Anthony Davis is LeBron's teammate, and LeBron got hurt and missed like 3 weeks or something, but everyone expected it to take months. And he's like, yeah, he went to Germany, got those good whatever treatments, and everyone's like, yeah, I know what kind of treatment, human growth hormone, steroids, stuff like that. Healed fast.
Adrenochrome.
Yes.
Sure.
Some DDR shit.
What is you guys seeming like you undoubtedly know more about this than me. The adrenochrome thing, is that way out of left field nonsense? Like what even is that?
So adrenochrome was originally being tested as a way to kind of chemically induce schizophrenia. And it is a real substance. All it is it's oxidized epinephrine. And it's funny, a little while back, and I actually still might do this. I was considering doing a video on, first of all, synthesizing adrenochrome from, like stuff you can get at the drugstore, just because, you can do it. You just need silver oxide batteries, like, for hearing aids or whatever, and then Primatene inhalers. And it, you mix them together and they turn purple. And then eventually do like what could I actually use this for? And you can develop film with it, which is fun. But like, it's basically like it works the exact opposite of how an antioxidant works in your brain. So it just whatever the shit that like a acai juice does for you that makes it really healthy, this is like the opposite of that. And I feel like the kind of that getting tied into the whole kind of, evil
child trafficking,
Moloch worshipping thing. Like I honestly, I don't really know what that comes from other than just it being a kind of rumor. Like, I have yet to see anything really convincing about adrenochrome specifically being relevant. There are things that, perhaps may have more stuff behind it, but not adrenochrome.
Okay, so because that's what I didn't know until you just said it, but if you can synthesize that artificially at CVS, it's like, why would there be a child bloodletting ring to support it? That just doesn't make sense.
And Brad, if you have any,
it's like one of those things where somebody takes it into the realm of absurdity to to kind of undermine what would be kind of a realistic conspiracy to make it outlandish and unattractive to people. Like people, we need to actually, the reason why we're torturing these children is actually for adrenochrome. It's definitely not because we get off on it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think it's just something that's, designed to be kind of like a, if there are, allegedly people doing that, which, I'm not going to weigh in on one way or another, but it would be a great way to, provide something that people can be like, no, you can, what are you talking about? Like, why would you need to do that to get adrenochrome? You can it's like a one-step.
Not adrenochrome. Maybe that's a red herring to throw us off. If you look at the book Blender Babies, it's about a future where we're literally blending babies to consume their essence. I think that's about as specific as they get, and it's such an addictive, wonderful, drug that there's a complete societal collapse. And I think the main character of the book spends the end of the book defending his home from baby blood crazed mobs outside who want his infant so they can blend it and consume its essence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a scary book.
So maybe there's something in there, like I always think back to when stem cells were big in the news, when we didn't know if George H.W. was going to, or not H.W., George W. Was going to allow for stem cell research and how far they were going to go, if they were going to use postpartum tissues or where they were going to use umbilical cord tissues. And the people who were dying, the people like Christopher Reeves who are laying there, can't move. They're like, blend the babies, whatever it takes, blend them. And that's one of those issues where at first I was like, no, don't blend the babies. We can't do that. But then I was thinking, imagine if you're in that wheelchair. Yeah. I'm thinking blend the babies.
Have you seen any of the new Superman movies? They suck.
What does that have to do with blending the babies?
You just were talking about Christopher Reeve.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Christopher Reeve wasn't a good... I didn't like those either. I don't like those old Superman movies. Those are pretty cheesy.
Yeah, but I'm glad you guys solidified that, because that has always been a conspiracy that hasn't made sense to me, where it's like, it does seem like, and I like your term, Tom, the shit coding, where it's like, oh, it's not that they're doing sinister things. It's that Hillary Clinton is eating babies. And it's like, really? Like, do you really think that? Like, you think she's like carving off a piece of a baby thigh at a barbecue somewhere with Lady Gaga, and there's some scary lady covered in paint or something there in a weird ritual? It's like
Marina Abramovic.
Yes, yeah. Well, I know she's the isn't she like an occultist?
So she's a performance artist. I will say, if you look at a picture of her and how old she is, it's like, okay, she's doing something evil.
She has to be, or she just has the best skincare routine of all time, because I'll see pictures of her and they'll be like, this is her 4 years ago. She was 81. And it's like, no.
It's like, it's a 30-year-old. No, that
lady's killing it for 81.
And I got what's this person's name?
Marina Abramovic.
Yeah, Marina Abramovic.
She's the one who
baby foreskin cream.
Yeah, it was apparently that seemed far-fetched, and then it turned out
that's true.
That was happening, which is fucking reprehensible.
She aged. I'm looking at her. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
she's like in her 70s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she's like tight with a lot of celebrities. I don't know the whole lore around her. So celebrities just like her? Is that the story?
They buy vampire potions from her. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
She's also like the cultural ambassador for like Ukraine with some other country, I think.
Oh yeah.
I remember seeing that somewhere, but I never looked that much into it.
That's what's hard about conspiracies is you'll hear one that's enticing,
it's hard
and then you immediately realize the amount of research it would take to actually do more than talk out of your ass about it. And it's like, oh my God, how am I even going to pursue this? Like I have to pay bills. I have to cook dinner. I have to do things. Yeah. That lady seems creepy. She was the one who there was a big part of the like Alex Jones sphere, the spirit cooking. Yep. That's where I was going to is, they were showing all those pictures years ago where it's like, look, you know, Lady Gaga is here and Katy Perry and all these people, and they're like dipping, you know, chips in nacho cheese over this like naked lady, and it's demonic. And then after this, they do demon stuff, and it's like, okay, maybe, I don't know.
Probably not though.
It wasn't nacho chips. It was something I think it was chocolate. I don't know.
It sounded like they had some naked fondue and somebody got butthurt about it. I could believe that there are secret societies that do rituals, and like the more I look into Moloch and his mentions in the Bible, and he's like this. I think it's a bull-headed god, and the statues have these open hands, and there would be a fire underneath, so the hands would glow red hot, and they drop the babies onto the burning red hands, and then they tumble into the fire below, like all that child sacrifice and stuff. I could believe that there's powerful elites taking part in some sort of weird ritual like that. But I don't think Hillary Clinton's eating babies, and I don't think that Abramovich woman is death becomes her or anything.
Yeah.
I think if there was some sort of like youth serum, like she wouldn't have it. I think Donald Trump would have it. I think like the real powerful people would have it, right? They'd be marketing it.
How I know it's not real. It's like they would have a weight loss serum for Trump if it was available.
Like he could be taking Ozempic, but he's chosen not to for some reason. Clearly,
that's not a serum though, because that would inhibit his ability.
I think he's beating it.
Munch. Yeah, dude, have you ever been around someone on Ozempic? I think he's
beating the Ozempic.
It's very funny.
It's so gross. It's so bad. It's like how this is an act against God at this point. Like, what are you doing, dude?
You think like Ozempic isn't an act against God? Or is that what you were saying?
No, I mean like just being able to eat that much that you're beating Ozempic.
Oh yeah, that's just nonsense. Like you got to really want it.
That is some gluttony beyond excess.
You got to have like terrible. A game 7 mentality for every meal to be like, I'm going to win against this drug I'm injecting.
I don't think you could win. I think you get like physically sick. And I hear about people like having really disgusting burps from the Ozempic because they're like ruminating now.
Yeah.
They're just kind of
it slows down your digestive tract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ozempic really feels...
That was like one of
Brett?
That was one of those things early on where people were like overdosing on Ozempic, and it was like they wouldn't poop, and then their whole system would be so stopped up and filled with this black bile that they would just die.
Jesus. I didn't see that in the infomercial.
Yeah. That was like when it real early on, and like people were real scared about it, but it turns out they were like doubling up their doses on some black market bullshit.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's crazy stuff.
I wonder if it's still expensive.
Probably. I mean, here, like, Novo Nordisk, like, I think that, like, I forget the actual percentage, but it's something like because I calculated it once, and like Ozempic is now like I want to say 37% of Denmark's GDP.
What?
Like something like that. Some absurd amount.
Yeah, like a double-digit percentage. Because it
was the only thing keeping their economy going for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way I feel about Ozempic is that like it feels like it fails the, does this feel like the first third of an episode of the Twilight Zone test?
Yeah.
Where it's the the first act where it's like, damn, this is amazing. I can't possibly imagine this having consequences that would ironically appear later.
Yeah, like the one where the guy he's losing his hair and he gets the hair transplant that ends up being like alien worms living in his scalp or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you definitely want to wait for Ozempic 2.0 maybe before going full bore into that.
Yeah.
Maybe try some diet and exercise.
Yeah. Maybe not be a first adopter. Wait and see how it plays out.
Same with the brain chips. I don't even want to be a second adopter for one of those brain chips. I want one.
Oh,
Like if those Elon brain chips were like working and like let's just, if they were great, I'd want one. Like I'd want.
Oh,
one,
I wouldn't.
Like now.
No, that shit's.
I want
spooky,
a fucking
dude.
overlay. I want an overlay. I want it really like. I want it like looking at everything I'm looking at, processing it, giving me tips and like help with.
That
things.
doesn't sound hellish
Just get
to you.
Google Glass. Like,
You turn it right off. If I want it off, I can just tap once.
Sure,
right
I
here.
bet it'll turn right off.
Yeah, you say something that pisses off.
It's all fun and games.
Yeah, and then it's like next thing
it's all fun and games until
what?
You go ahead.
I think Brad and I were. Brad and I think we're converging on the same point where it's like you say something that pisses off the powers that be, and then the CIA hacks your brain chip and makes you rip your dick off.
Yeah.
Again,
suddenly you're shooting yourself 5 times with a bolt action 22 in the back
I'm
of the
talking
car.
about a hypothetical non-evil brain chip. I would want that.
That's never going to exist.
Yeah, it's like saying you want a non-evil computer.
No good person.
It's all
is
fun
ever
and
gonna
games
make a brain
until
chip.
somebody airdrops. It's all fun and games until somebody airdrops like a zip bomb of like horse cock into your brain and makes it explode or something.
Is that a feature?
Just think about it.
We can call it that.
It might
I'd
be
all right with that.
Yeah.
I would just be afraid that I would just, it would be incredibly painful or it would make me retarded or something like that. That'd be since they're drilling a hole in my head and putting a fucking silver dollar on my brain.
Don't do that. Don't become a bot man, Kyle.
The clanker.
Don't become a fucking clanker, dude.
Dude,
we're gonna eventually. Have
I
to
would be
switch to
fine
clank
having
up.
a robot hand.
It just write jokes for me. It's like I've got Colbert's entire staff now in my brain, all 200 of them, losing $40 million a year somehow. But that's why the show.
Maybe pick a funnier staff.
Funnier staff, right? That's why the show is losing $40 million a year. The staff is 200 people strong for that fucking show. 200 people earning salary on that the hour-long late-night show. Where the fuck are they, and what are they doing?
Not writing jokes.
That's one of
There's
those
your
union
conspiracy
jobs.
theory.
Yeah, not being funny. Like every clip I see of that, or I guess all the clips I see reposted on Twitter of Colbert is that like Vax song and dance he did way back in the day. And it's like, my God, this is like, I'm grinding my teeth at how embarrassing this is for everyone involved.
It's like, that's the most shameful thing I've ever seen a video of Stephen Colbert doing.
Yeah, it really is. It's like, hey guys, we're gonna do a fucking song. We're gonna do a musical about how awesome Pfizer is. Pay no heed to the fact that a few years ago they paid $1 billion settlement for knowingly keeping poison in baby powder for half a century.
Or the fact that all of their employees just took saline.
Yeah. That Pfizer was one of the companies that didn't require you get it in order to stay employed. And it's like, really? Because a lot of my friends had to do it for their sales and marketing and business jobs. Woody made Kyle do it. Woody said, "You're off the show." No, I don't want to do that to him.
I didn't want to get that shot. And the boosters. Oh, so 14 boosters. I got to go in tomorrow and get another one.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's like I feel like I want them to have a little skin in the game.
Yeah, they should. They should like care enough to be like, yeah, this product is good, I'm going to do it. I'm pure-blooded. I didn't get it, so I was like, "No,
I don't
think
make all
there's
the difference."
It didn't. I got COVID and it went away in like a day.
I never got COVID. Never got COVID.
You went through a little
Christmas.
period where you were sick.
I've
There was one
sick.
point where you had the flu so bad and you were like, I'm not going to get tested.
All right, that might have happened, but that was well after like the COVID days.
Yeah.
Sure.
I got COVID like 3 times.
Oh, damn, that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it's annoying. It
Did you
wasn't-
get vaxxed up? Were you trusting the science?
So I took the first one. Like I got the original
Early
vax,
adopter.
and was like, damn, this, like I took it and it was like, that felt like shit. That was like almost as bad as having COVID. And then I was like, fuck the rest of this. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I had almost no symptoms. It was fine, and then I never got sick because I did trust the science.
Yeah, I'm
Me too, man.
a science skeptic.
Well,
It just seemed like a good
there's
idea.
a lot of financial interest there. So anytime there's a lot of financial interest involved, you do have to be skeptical.
Jesus Christ. I don't have to be. Everybody was getting the shot. Seemed like a good idea to get the shot. Plus, my dad's old. I got friends with immune shit going on. I didn't want to be the one. Like, imagine how guilty
Yeah.
you'd feel if you were the one who got somebody sick and then they fucking like died, like,
Yeah,
or had to get
you
a
know.
lung transplant or something awful. Like, I don't want to send a loved one into some medical spiral because
Oh yeah, no, that was my
Taylor
logic.
says the government put 5G chips in the vaccine.
I was and that was the thing about it is I never once said any nonsense about.
You told me
The
there were
vac-
5G chips in there.
Never told
Bill
you that.
Gates. Bill Gates is trying to turn you into a magnet.
All I said ever, and most of us who didn't get it just said the same thing. This is undertested. I'm not a risk group, and I don't see it as worthwhile. And that was it. There was no 5G. There was no magnetism. Look, some fucking retard put something tacky on his skin, and now a spoon sticks.
I love that.
And then they used that as like a way to malign everyone who, like me, was like, I just don't think they've tested it enough. They've come out and said that, and I don't think I'm at risk, so I'm not worried about it. If you are
President
at
got the
risk,
shot.
go ahead and get it. Go for it.
Yeah, that's basically where I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like
When I saw they gave Joe Biden the shot, I knew it was a-okay. I was sure I was getting the same mix he was getting, so went right for it.
You figured you were getting the Biden mix?
Yeah, for sure. Hey, like that's what did him in. I hear at the debate was the vax.
Oh shit! I didn't hear that theory. I thought it was that he's a senile old man.
Hunter Biden came out like this week and said that he was on Ambien, and that's why he was all fucked up during the debate.
There was a conspiracy like from the kind of Democratic establishment, which is funny because it's like the group of people who's always like the least willing to accept conspiracies of anyone.
Yeah.
And like right after the debate, people were basically coming out being like were they used some like basically they were coming out and being like like yeah, they hit him with the retard beam and. Like they were claiming they were using it. Yeah, like they were using like a Havana syndrome speech jammer on him. It's like no, he's a million years old.
Yeah, it's like it wouldn't take that much to make this guy who's already stumbled a million times publicly to stumble more. Like, why would you think they gave him retard juice or Ambien? My only experience with Ambien, I've never taken it, but a friend of mine was a combat Marine, and he had trouble sleeping for a few years after he got back. And so he would put on Ambien. And every so often, he would just text our group chat like 15 texts in a row at 3:05 in the morning. And we'd all wake up to it. And it wasn't even like drunk person speech. It wasn't like, I love you so much. It would be like he planned out day to day activities, pricing, everything for me and like 6 of our other friends to go on a European vacation at 3:05 in the morning. And so it was just sending stuff like, and if we stay here at this hotel in Italy, we can actually catch a ride to this place in Spain the next day, and we could see both of these great cities, and then we could do this. And actually, if we do this, it's not too expensive. And the next morning, a lot of us texted like, "What the fuck are you talking about? We'd never even broached the topic of us going on a big vacation together." And he's like, "Guys, I'm sorry, I was fucked up. I took Ambien and then I didn't go to bed." So, that ruined me.
Sounds like Ambien.
Yeah, I woke up from an Ambien to like take a piss once, and just waking up like still under the effects of that, I was so out of it. Like, I don't know if it excuses Rosanne Bar's tweets, but it might. I also heard she had like severe brain trauma when she was like 19 years old or something like that. So that also might have contributed to it.
She got hit by a car.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Oh wow. I didn't know. I don't know what the hell is Roseanne up to now. She's certainly not making the.
She did that MAGA rap video right before the election. That was, I wouldn't say big, but it really upset me to watch it. She had like dreads.
Was she rapping, or was she like a dancer?
She was rapping. She was rapping and dancing.
I don't like that. I don't want that. Yeah, I'm
not going to look that one up.
It was horrific. Yeah, I felt bad for Roseanne though, because the show was called Roseanne, and they're like, "You're fired, Roseanne," and she's like, "No, what about the show?" It's like, "We're gonna rename it to the Connors." And it's like, you can't have Roseanne. It would imagine doing that to Seinfeld. It'd be like, "Oh, Jerry, that girl's 17, right? Dude, you're 41. You fucko! Like,
look at the size of her tits. She's an adult.
If there's grass on the field, play ball."
That's what that song 1738 was about.
I don't know that song.
I don't know that song.
Like,
was he 38?
Who's that by? Fetty Wap? 1738. Like the. Never mind.
Oh yes,
it is by Fetty Wap.
I don't know that. Yeah, that was an uncomfortably. That they Reddit pulls that picture out of the drawer every couple weeks of Seinfeld and his 17-year-old girlfriend, and he's clearly like Jerry from the Seinfeld show, age Jerry.
That would have been a good episode. George would be like the worry wart. He's like, "You're gonna get caught. They're gonna find you."
He's doing an after-school program for the Yankees at her high school.
That probably would be it. Have you guys ever, all three of you, started looking into a conspiracy out of fun and just novelty, and then you're almost annoyed when you start to buy in because you're like, "Oh fuck, like now I'm gonna be that fucking retard who's into this, who I previously would have judged"? I have one in mind, but I was curious.
The alien thing has always just appealed to me so much, and I know it's stupid. And like even on a different level, I know that it's not like likely that they could get here. So I have to I'm like, well, maybe they're time travelers from our future, and their time city is beneath the waves. And I'm like, no, that's stupider than the other thing. And that one, I have a real, I don't know, I romanticize the idea of there being aliens and us contacting them to the point where it doesn't take much to get me going. Like if I see some eyewitness testimony, they're like, "I seen it. It's hovering right over the Piggly Wiggly," and I'm like, "For real? Over the Piggly Wiggly?" Like, I believe him. I can't. They just seem so emphatic. I believe they seen it. And I wish they were real. That's. I want it to be real so bad that I will it to be so, and then I realize I'm believing in kookery.
You are big on that. Not kookery, but like you are absolutely obsessed over the years with aliens being real and finding evidence for them.
I'm very afraid of them.
That's the funniest part, is that like you're deathly afraid of them and you do want them to be real.
One thing that I can offer you, Kyle, is at one point I asked my dad if he'd ever seen like a UFO or an alien or whatever. And like, so my dad was a military pilot, and I asked him if he'd ever seen a UFO, and he just like looked at me and went, "Yes." And I was like, "Do you want to?" It's like, "I've seen a lot of them," and he didn't want to talk about it anymore.
Oh shit!
That's all it took. I'm hooked. I told you. I'm like, that's proof positive right there. This guy's dad's seen them.
And it's like,
let's call him.
Give him a ring.
I mean, your channel boy.
I feel like he probably would not appreciate being put on.
Yeah, my father would.
Fair,
Okay,
fair
Yeah,
enough.
That's
he's
fair.
a somewhat private guy.
That's fair. Yeah, my dad would
Makes
hate
sense.
it. If I was like, "Hey, Dad, you're talking to a few 100,000 people right now. Say something ridiculous." He'd be like, "Taylor, call me when you're done." And then he'd hang up on me.
For your dressing down.
Yeah.
Surprise! Your reaction will be recorded for posterity forever.
Forever and ever. All the retarded stuff you say will never be forgotten, and people will meme on you with it. Woody, when I asked Kyle, Tom, and Brad, has there ever been a conspiracy that you went into just out of interest, novelty, and you didn't want to believe, but you ended up buying in? If you need to think, I have one, and it was the chemtrail thing, where I was like, this is the most retarded thing ever. And then I had some random person on Twitter be like, hey, not only are you dumb for saying they don't try chemicals, you live in St. Louis. Are you not familiar with Operation Large Area Coverage? And I was like,
Yeah, Operation Black.
Know where you
well,
live.
I'm definitely familiar with it, but I wasn't, and so I had to look it up. And it was like, it's one of those. It's like Operation High Jump, Operation Mockingbird. These things that back in the day they would have called conspiratory nonsense, but then end up, when it's no longer consequential, releasing it. And there was a program called Operation Large Area Coverage, where the U.S. Army Chemical Corps dispersed microscopic zinc cadmium sulfide particles over much of the United States and Canada in order to test dispersal patterns and geographic range of chemical or biological weapons. And apparently they did this over St. Louis a good bit. Like, they poisoned our city proper with these chemicals over and over and over.
Why did they use poison to see like
Oh,
how
no,
far
no,
something
not,
would get dispersed? They could have used sugar or something.
Not poison as in like they were doing it to poison the people of St. Louis. It's just that zinc, cadmium, and a lot of these things they would release happen to be not good for you.
So the zinc cadmium in particular is a tracer used to test dispersal of biological agents. So they use that because they're able to go back and see how well that chemical was dispersed. So if later on they wanted to put the Trixie virus in there, or they wanted to put, I don't know, some other agent in, they would know, what altitudes, what speeds, what wind patterns to utilize to maximize dispersal over a large area.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it.
They just fucking microwaved the Pruitt-Igoe housing complex with that stuff. Like it.
What's the Pruitt-Igoe housing?
It was a public housing initiative, like a big, like one of those big tower blocks, kind of like Cabrini Green in Chicago. But it was like, hey, yeah, everyone here is poor. They won't notice they're getting radiated.
Yeah, probably not. They'll just be like, this is because of my bad diet that my fingernails are falling off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing with like
one thing.
A lot of the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Brad.
One thing that might interest you, Taylor, is that amongst other things like spraying down St. Louis, as part of Operation Sunshine or Project Sunshine, I can't remember which one but there was this operation about sort of like taking cadavers, parts of cadavers, organs and whatnot, and doing nuclear testing on them, making them go back and forth across the world, like people, like legs being chopped off, dead babies in Australia and being brought to the United States. One like sub area of that was in St. Louis, I believe, where they were having dentists remove children's teeth to see how much like heavy metals and like radioactive material was settling into their bones.
Ooh. See, that sounds more sinister than what I've found. Interesting. And that is a thing that like solidified me more with it after just seeing the actual operations where they drop this stuff. It's once again a shit coding where people will go, these chemtrails, they're poison. They're all a way to harm you. They're a way to do this and that, and just very sinister things. And that's not the case always. Like what Kyle was saying and what Tom said, like sometimes they are just testing dispersal patterns and they're using things that happen to be poisonous, but it still proves that they do engage in that behavior.
Do all of you know
very
like
large
that
operation?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry.
You might be thinking about the same thing. Operation Sea Spray?
Sea foam.
See, the pink mold one.
Yeah, the pink mold from like showers and stuff like that. They sprayed it all over San Francisco.
Yeah, that's why, so the pink mold that shows up in showers, the reason we have that now is because that was released in San Francisco.
What? That's what causes that?
Yes.
That's why I have to scrub my shower floor every few months.
Yes.
I hate that. Last time I just used bleach because that's what was near.
Yeah, I used that bleach gel for toilet bowls. It's amazing.
I just used regular bleach and I scrubbed it all out. And then I started a new thing I do where I was worried. I had to take a shower right after I scrubbed it with bleach. And I was like, I don't want to stand in like remnants of bleach. And so I put on these Crocs that I'd never worn. And it turns out showering in Crocs kind of rocks. Like it's pretty soft and comfortable. And so I've kept using them even now.
The most unbelievable part of this conspiracy is that a Midwesterner has never worn Crocs. Like we're supposed to believe that.
Yeah. Well, I fit all the other things. I'm dumb and overweight. And so that plays in. But yeah, Operation Sea Spray. I love your guys' encyclopedic knowledge on all this shit.
It's amazing me. Yeah.
That's what that fucking pinkish shit is. Mm-hmm. Or orangish, I guess, that shows up.
Like this was a collaboration between like the Navy and the CIA where they sprayed it across San Francisco, and like they didn't notify the local like medical establishment before doing this. And so out of nowhere, shitloads of people are coming in with bladder infections. And they're like, what the fuck is going on? And it apparently was causing bladder infections. And one guy had complications to the point where he died.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And so they've been caught doing this a few times, I guess.
They know what's best for us, Taylor. That's why. That's why I got the 14 boosters. You know, I trust whatever they say.
Aren't you due for 15?
Tomorrow, like I said, I got to get in early. And get boosted up. You know, I never got COVID. Like I said, I'm a what are you, a conspiracy theorist like yourself?
There was a time when you were grievously ill on the show and you were doing the Dennis Reynolds like sickness be gone. And you were like, I won't get tested. I don't have COVID. And I'm like, brother, you're my friend and I'm worried about you because it's been a few weeks that you've been incredibly ill.
Yeah, I like to fight it out. I don't like to go get medicines for sickness unless it's real bad. I always go right away if it's like strep throat or if it's some sort of like eye infection or something like that, something that just gets worse and worse and icky. But if it's just a cold, I try to power through it. I like to imagine that my immune system is benefiting from that.
Taylor, did you have COVID?
I waited 6 years to have my wisdom teeth pulled.
Why?
6 years.
Why?
I couldn't make the appointment and then I never rescheduled. So it's just kind of like I couldn't get a ride because I was going to have to be put under. Oh, dude, it was awful. Towards the end, it was coming in sideways. I only had 3 of them, but they were all coming in sideways. Yes. Like all hell. And it stank and shit. It was honestly nasty. I don't know why I didn't do it earlier.
Why did they stink?
Yeah.
They're rotting.
Oh. Yeah.
I lucked out. I only have one wisdom tooth.
Oh, that'll do it.
I only had one wisdom tooth, and I let it just grow in, and it's fine, just hanging out top right of my mouth.
Lucky you,
doing
Taylor.
okay.
Lucky you.
I got very fortunate.
Shockingly, there was plenty of room.
Some of us would have died.
I got room for 3 or 4 more back there.
I could have stacked them. I could have been Christ-like and taken your wisdom teeth and put them in my mouth. There would have been ample room.
Yeah, I got all 4 of mine taken out and
making
just
a new person.
making a little homunculus. But yeah, as a kind of sign of the time when I got mine out, I got all 4 of mine taken out, and it's just like, this is the most like fucking 2012 story ever. But I go home from the doctor's appointment, and like the doctor gave me 120 Percocet 10s for my wisdom teeth.
That's excessive.
Is a 10 a lot of Percocet?
I mean, it's a medium amount.
Oh, okay, but 120 seems like a lot. Yeah.
120 is like an unbelievable amount, and it had a refill. I'm
Dude,
like,
he was trying to get you addicted.
How many did you take a day?
Molly Percocets.
Or what was this prescription per day?
It was basically, it was something stupid where it was like, take like 2 of these a day for 60 days or something, and it was like, yeah, this was just a shady ass doctor.
Yeah,
sounds like
or dentist or whatever, oral surgeon. Yeah, but yeah, no, I think they cracked down on that. I don't think you can do that anymore. Oh yeah, no, it's a profession that's almost entirely fraudulent.
A lot of dentistry is fraudulent.
Pharmacists are 100% fraudulent. The very idea. I was melting down about this yesterday. All right, those pill counting pieces of shit. First of all, I just left those medical doctor. He told me what the cream does. He told me when to take the capsules. He told me everything I needed to know that was pertinent. I don't need you, pill counter MD. Get back there and get to counting. What's taking so fucking long? You can't count to 60 in under 45 minutes. What are you doing? We got an abacus back there and you keep dropping it, you piece of shit. Those guys are the first job to get replaced by AI and robotics. It could be done right now.
AI.
You just need a robot arm.
Like a Atari 2600, like it. Yeah, up to 60.
They could be replaced by like a 60. Scale.
Why don't they weigh the pills? Why are they measuring them? Why don't you just have a good scale to weigh them and drop them into my fucking bottle and then send let me walk back there and pick it up. I'm an adult. I hate pharmacists. I think that they're like mattress salesmen. It's not a real career. There's some sort of money laundering going on in the back end. Your uncle owns the store and his uncle owned it before him. And you're really just mobsters or something. Pill counting piece of shit.
Pharmacists just saved hope.
Yeah, they should just sell Adderall over the counter.
That's the mortuary business.
Yeah, they gave an adult. She was a baby. She had thrush or something, and they prescribed her like an adult dosage to fix it. And the pharmacist is like, "Is this for a 3-week-old?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds about right." And they're like, "No." And they caught the doctor's mistake and gave the correct dosage.
Well, I guess in that
we should just have better doctors.
Sounds like, I mean, you had quite the lawsuit on your hands, but I guess this outcome's preferable.
No, give me the adult dose. we need damages.
Shut up, counter. Give me them pills.
It's like if we have to have an entire profession whose job it is to fix fuck ups of another profession, just fix the other profession.
I just feel like they're a useless middleman in the scheme of things. I can't imagine anything else like coming to you that way with that middleman who counts it there at the end. It's like, like a gallon of milk, and there's a guy who fucking dispenses it for me at the grocery store. Like, no.
Why are they so bad at their jobs? Like, why does it take a day or two to get the prescription? Why does it take so many hours? And even if the doctor's like, I'm calling in your prescription right now. Okay, cool. Why does it take 6-8 hours for it to be available? It
makes no sense.
Well,
it makes no sense. Sometimes it's a bottle of
it's a lot like a bank. Ew. Sometimes they don't actually have the pills like a bank. They claim to, but then it's like, bring it in the back. That's their business.
It's like getting gas in New Jersey.
The nanny state at work. Yes.
These fake
have any of you ever had to do that? Like
I grew up in New Jersey. We loved it.
It's bullshit. Every time, like, are you supposed to tip the guy? Like, every time I go to New Jersey, like, and I have to fill up gas, like, and I honestly, because like most of my experiences in New Jersey have been just like stopping off I-95 on my way someplace better. And I'm gonna own this here. I grew up in Maryland and in the DC area. New Jersey is just like if you took all of the bad stuff about Maryland and made it like 5% more that way. It's just like, Maryland with 5% more rules, 5% more Italian.
Ocean City, Maryland wishes it was Ocean City, New Jersey when it grew up.
That's fair. I mean, Ocean City, New Jersey is better. Ocean City, Maryland is like, honestly, it's like, hey, what if we took
New Jersey hate?
What if we took what if we took Ocean City, New Jersey, and then we just added like a lot of crime, like actually like a lot.
Okay, Woody. If New Jersey is so good, why are y'all all moving down into the South?
The weather's not very good.
It's the smell. Yeah, I don't know about the garden state. What's growing in that garden? It smells like socks.
You know what? It has 6% less nickel cadmium than St. Louis. We got that going for us.
There are other options.
Yeah, no, it's either New Jersey or St. Louis. That's where you have to live. And by the way, lots of St. Louis is nice. The county is very nice. Don't malign us with our horrible third world city. It is nice.
That fucking arch of yours, it gets me every time I see it. That thing is so stupid.
Ooh, look, we got half a McDonald's.
Hey,
Thing's silly. Look, when you get your hammer murder statistics down, then I'll hear about the tourism opportunities in jolly old St. Louis.
Oh no, you certainly shouldn't travel here for tourism. You might be attacked. Don't do that.
You will be attacked.
But the arch is pretty cool. One thing I don't like is the St. Louis mandate, the city proper, that no building can be taller than the arch.
Really?
And so that has created some odd setups.
It should have a swing in the middle. It should have one of those swings in the middle where you like put the person in the harness where they're on their belly, like Superman, and then you like click, like you pull them way back on the other end and let them swing in the middle of the arch.
That might be tight.
Like the slingshot.
Yeah.
I was gonna. I wish
it should be like one of those
slingshot deportation strategy.
Oh, all the way to Canada. All the way to the world's largest slingshot.
That's a long shot.
It faces Canada, Mexico, or one of the oceans, but the idea works in any direction.
Well, it faces.
Just send them east.
It's
east
west
St. Louis.
Yeah, it's west to east. Oh yeah, you could send them to East St. Louis, and they'll very quickly be like, "I want to go home. I want to go back to Honduras. It's nicer than East St. Louis. East St. Louis is such a fucking scab on our city. I hate it.
It's scary.
It's the worst.
Yeah, it's like some places bad when they are like, okay, we're going to legally define you as a separate city.
I thought East St. Louis was kind of cool, but I have a little bit of adrenaline junkie in me.
You are a little bit, Woody. You are a total adrenaline junkie, so of course you thought it was fun. Yeah. No, it's dangerous as hell. It's
like visiting Chernobyl.
Sad. It is. It's like you see yards that haven't been mowed in ever. Like it looks like a Sahara. Or not Sahara. It looks like a lush environment where there's just grass that's up to your neck in a yard, and someone lives there. It's some trap house where a bunch of drug dealers live. It sucks. It's an embarrassment to our whole city that is allowed to exist the way it is, with so little actual meaningful reduction in crime. Every fucking year, it's the same thing. We top those lists of like the worst American cities. And I want to be like, no, it's not us. The county's really nice. It's a largely nice place to live. It's just the city proper and East St. Louis that ruin it for everyone else.
Only place that I've been more fucked up is Gary, Indiana. And like, I don't know if any of you have ever played the Stalker games. But that's what Gary, Indiana.
Are there anomalies?
I mean, damn near. Like, so there are
mutated beasts.
Like I've lived in Baltimore, and I've like I've been some pretty gnarly places in Baltimore before. Like, there's parts of Baltimore that look like Fallout 3. Like, they've got rubble on the streets.
Yeah.
But it's like, in Gary, it's like there aren't even raiders anymore.
They don't even have raiders. It's
It's
desolate.
just mutants.
It's just like, you just hear like this. A mutated dog walks by.
What were you doing spending time in East St. Louis?
Driving through it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, usually Google directs you around it.
That one's on Google.
It does.
That one's on me for being like, this is faster.
Oh, yeah, I'm just going to fire right through here. I'm pretty low. There's no worse place in America to be low on gas than East St. Louis. It's terrifying.
Yeah. Louisville, Kentucky was pretty sketchy at night. Memphis, there's parts of maybe it was East Memphis that was real sketch late at night. There's parts of Atlanta, I don't even know where they were, but I've been there before and it was sketch. I was in LA one time at a convention and all the rooms were booked, but I wanted to fuck this girl. But so I needed a room to fuck her in. So I was trying to get another room to fuck in. And all of them were booked. So we were having to leave the nice area of LA where the hotels are and go to I saw 3 gang members pressed up against a wall with cops pointing guns at them. We were only 4 turns from where the nice hotels were. I was like, all right, go back. I'll get the nice room. I'll get the nice room. We're not going deeper into this jungle of scariness. There's definitely some sketchy ass cities. The homeless encampments in
New
Atlanta,
Orleans.
New Orleans has some wild homeless.
New Orleans, you can't even tell who's homeless because someone who's having a good time basically is wearing homeless garb themselves. They're disheveled. Yeah. They got everything's mismatched. Yeah. They're drunk.
Gotta look
smell
at
like
the shoes.
piss.
Smell like piss.
Gotta look at the shoes.
Or a hobo. You don't know.
Yeah, looking at the shoes clues you in. That's
bare feet.
Joke or story I mentioned on the show many years ago is that I thought my entire life growing up and living in St. Louis that all homeless people were like St. Louis homeless. And then I went to Seattle and I was blown away. I was like, these guys are wearing Asics and eating out of a bowl. They're doing people stuff and they seem smug about this.
No, I had the opposite experience.
Really?
Stolen Valor.
When I went to Seattle, when I went to Seattle, I remember I had to walk a very long way to get to E3, to get to the conference or the convention center. And so I would see a lot of homeless on the way there. And there was a dead pigeon that they had eaten like wild men on the right there next to the sidewalk. And they had picked it to the bones clean. And it was laying there being eaten by ants that they had consumed. And then we all went down to the wharf, I think the wharf or the pier or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Water, obviously. And we all had seafood at the same restaurant. And on the way back, we must have walked by a group. It was like in the zombie movie where the coast is clear. And then you turn the corner and there's a horde of zombies just waiting to be go aggro. But it was homeless. Some light shined on them and 20 grown men kind of sprinted away from us into the shadows. It was so scary. I was like, what is that? It's oh, that's where the homeless live down in there. I'm like, what the fuck?
At least they're keeping to themselves, which is what I liked about the Seattle homeless, because last time I went to a Blues game, our hockey team in St. Louis, because I love the Blues, you leave and everyone who leaves the arena is in an alliance where it's we can't all be assaulted. We have to move as a group. And there's a guy under Highway 40, which is close to a lot of the parking area. And he was just yelling. He was just over and over doing screaming under this underpass. And it was echoing and it was kind of scary. And you could see him doing it. He wasn't wearing many clothes. And he was just screaming there. And then meanwhile, the calm St. Louis homeless are guys that will touch your shoulder to get you to take a piece of gum from them or something. And it's like, I'm not going to take your gum because then you're going to demand money of me. Like this is some fucking Italian, some Rome Rose scheme you're trying to pull on me right now. Like, no, I'm not going to take the icebreakers that you have in your hand right now. I'm certainly not reaching in with my fingers to your icebreakers container to take a mint. You have 6 teeth in your mouth and you're wild-eyed looking at me right now. And so you just have to keep moving. And that's something that shouldn't be abided.
Like, so they're waiting for you, right? The homeless, they know that you're leaving.
They're waiting for you the whole time. So there's one cool homeless that plays a saxophone shockingly well. Like he's rocking on that saxophone. And so I like that guy. Other than him, homeless? Everyone sucks. What?
Or does he pretend to be homeless? Right?
I don't know.
The fake homeless, apparently that's a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you clean up.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy probably has an apartment and he's just lying.
So after the hockey games in Atlanta, if you in between periods, if you wanted to smoke, you could go out of this little area and go out through these double doors to the exterior, and they had like velvet ropes wrapped around an area for just that, so that you could get outdoors but still technically be a ticketed, like, I'm supposed to be in this building kind of guy. And the homeless would wait right there because they knew that you were coming there and you had cigarettes. And they would beg for cigarettes and they beg for money. And it was just like a constant presence. And we all smoked like chimneys. So every period we're going out there to smoke. I hate that. I hate when they know you're coming. Like, it's one thing when I'm walking down the street, in Vegas, it's awful. The card snapping guys, you've never been to Vegas. So guys approach you on the strip with like a stack of business cards. And usually it's like escort services, weed services, taxi services, anything and everything. They might be pimping their fucking demo tape, something like that. But they're just like hustlers who are coming at you, snapping those cards to get your attention. And they'll trick you into taking one of those cards. They've got like 8. They've got all sorts of different, like, they'll drop the card and you'll pick it up and they'll do all sorts of nonsense to you. I hate those guys too. And they'll have the fucking fake people dressed up as Batman.
Explain the scam.
Yeah.
How do they get you if you get their business card?
They don't really get you. They've initiated conversation with you, but moreover, they're just pushing some sort of thing. Usually it's drugs and sex on the cards that have been given to me. So I was, I'm taking them.
I was like, yeah, is it that hard to push drugs and sex on Kyle? Like,
no, not on me, but
it's like selling air conditioning to me. Like, yes, please.
And there'll be people who they run this hustle where it'll be like 2 really hot chicks in bikinis, and they'll, hey, you want to take a picture? And it's like, yeah. And then they want $50 for the picture. You're like, I don't want it that bad. It was too late. You already got it now. And then you got to fight the women in the street.
We don't have that kind of scam here.
No.
But there was a different kind of scam a couple of years ago, a picture or a video rather of a homeless guy. If I recall the story correctly, it was like a phone video of a homeless guy with a gun, and he started the video, if I recall, like Mr. Beast, where he's like, hey guys, check out my content. And then he walked over and killed a homeless guy. Another homeless, just shot him in the head, sitting on the sidewalk.
I remember this.
You remember killer. That one. Oh, I didn't realize he got
that was happening for like a week or so. Yeah, he killed like a couple people.
I remember the guy who was going around executing sleeping homeless. Like, he would just go to a sleeping homeless person and just shoot them and walk away.
Yeah, when I lived in the city about 7 years ago or so, before I moved out to a nice county, there was a legitimate hammer murderer making his way around downtown St. Louis. And what he would do is he would beat people to death with a hammer. He would cudgel you to death, or more likely, he was beating homeless people to death with a hammer exactly like what Kyle's holding.
It was this hammer.
It was that hammer. You bought it off. And he was just executing people.
No,
it's such a fucking humiliation. It's a humiliation for our once great city. And
he's lucky he didn't bump into this guy I know from St. Louis with the Homer Simpson skull.
He's lucky. He would have dented his hammer on mine. My thick skull, my Neanderthal skull. Yeah, it stinks. it stinks like living Tom, you live in do you say where you live?
I live in the general DC area.
Okay.
I've spent a lot of time living in yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. God, like I've like a month ago, like I swear to God, at this point, I get canceled probably once a month for like an increasingly silly thing each time. But yeah, like I got so many people upset at me like last month because I said that I think it's bad to throw used syringes on the sidewalk. And it's
Who
like,
could be mad at that?
And it's like,
such a
like,
hot take.
What are you, some kind of fascist? And it's like, it's used syringes.
Yeah, it's unbelievably dangerous.
At least throw them in the trash. Come on.
I wonder if you would have taken heat if it had been cigarette butts.
I mean, probably from a different group of people, but it's also like I don't care about that. It's
cigarette smokers are the kindest of vice users of all. They bend at the whims of the public time and time again. You've never seen, maybe you've seen a psycho light one up on a plane, but it's usually like because they're drunk and it's a reflex and they're immediately like, oh my God, what have I done? That reaction they're having, that fear, oh my God, what have I done? Society has turned them into bitches. There used to be smoking fucking sections that were bigger than the non-smoking sections, goddammit. Y'all are the weird ones for not liking nicotine. That was the way of the day. And we've completely gone the other way. Those people are happy to do whatever they can do to not bug you with their vice. Smokers are great. And they're kind. Like, I bet if you went I bet if you're trying to bum some cocaine or bum some
no one ever says, let me bum some coke. That's,
come on,
not really a thing.
Those are pot smokers
fighting words.
I feel like pot smokers, one, even less violent, right? They don't get grumpy. If anything, they get chill. And sharing doobie, I don't even know what these things are.
That's what they call them.
Yeah, sharing doobies is like part of the culture, right?
Yeah, a reefer.
Yeah. They're calling it
Pour
the devil's lettuce.
Tall glass
nowadays.
of doobies and let's get wild.
What would you call
sharing
the thing
culture.
you pass around? A blunt?
A joint?
A blunt or a joint.
Well, blunt is like a different thing. So what you're going for is like a hand rolled marijuana cigarette. So that traditionally
blunts suck. Joints are all right.
I like blunts too. Blunts hit hard. I like that nicotine punch.
I don't need that fucking grape flavored wrap.
I want peach. I want peach first of all, and we're going to get wild with it.
You smoking backwoods?
No, I get like a
backwoods.
If I were actually going to do, I would get like wraps that are made for weed. Like one of our sponsors sent us a bunch, and they smell like strawberry shortcake. Like they smell so good.
Those were so strong it was inappropriate.
The like fruitiness of them.
No, the power of how high I got when I smoked them.
Oh, wait, those wraps didn't have weed in them already?
Mm-mm.
Oh. Mine are still in the package.
Oh, I was thinking about the tubular ones we got that were pre-rolled and they had the crystals on the end. Those fucked me up.
Those are great too. Yeah, that's a different thing though.
Tom, I saw like what you were talking about with the syringe thing, and I think I saw your tweets like arguing with people about it, where you were just like, "Hey, morons! If you're trying to associate fascism with no syringes on the street and less murder and less crime, you're gonna turn people towards that. So please reevaluate your perspectives on these things and realize, regardless of affiliation, we should be pushing this away."
Yeah, because it's like I don't think it's that much to ask for to be like, okay, like things that you don't want to step in: needles, human shit, dead bodies. Like it's like, okay, that's like a baseline. And people are like, I don't know. That's pretty
reasonable. Is that fascist? I don't think so. I think that's just normal people wanting a normal place to live.
So I go through a lot of needles. I use TRT and some other legal stuff that I'm prescribed that I inject. And I leave behind a lot of needles. And I am so aware of how like the sight of used needles skeeves people out. Like you don't know what I'm doing if you glance at them. You don't know like what I have. If I see a used needle sitting there, I'm thinking like that might be an AIDS dart. That might be an AIDS dart right there, the one that ruins my life. That's an AIDS dart. Like, as far as I'm concerned, it is. If I see an unattended fucking sharp needle. So when I dispose of them, I do a really good job. Like I put them in a special container. I put the caps back on. I put them in a bottle. I get rid of them.
Like anything, as long as it's not just throwing it on the ground like a used Zin. Which, because it's like, it'll be, it'll be like on the stoop of my building, like just walking down onto and it's like, really, like, not even in the trash can, just like, it's still got blood on it.
It just fell out of his vein and then went where it fell.
It's all bent and crooked.
Yeah.
I'd have to find the post, but there was a funny one about someone in East St. Louis who posted a picture in a bathroom and was like, how the hell are people breaking into a Sharps container? What are you doing? Why would you steal from that?
You get all of it and you boil it out and then you dehydrate it and you get the little bit of heroin that was missed.
You get one
so
more
disgusting
dose
and scary.
out of it. Oh my god.
I don't even reuse my needles. Like the idea of reusing a needle skeeves me out, and it's like my needle and everything's like sterilized. I pulled a needle out of my ass one time and the angle was funny. And I had the needle was bent like almost all the way over because I had it takes a long time to squeeze a whole syringe. It ached. A lot of the shots in the ass ache real bad. If I'm being honest, if you don't go slow, I'm putting so much liquid in the muscle tissue that you can bruise it internally if you inject yourself like a turkey.
That L-carnitine stuff.
Yeah, L-carnitine. Yeah.
But you're good. You have more experience taking shots in the ass than anyone I know.
Oh, you have no idea. No, I do though. I would. Last time when I got that injection at the doctor a few years ago, I was like, please let me inject myself. I know what I'm doing, and you're gonna hurt me.
Did they let you?
Oh yeah. Yeah, she was cool. She probably could have lost her medical license for that. That doesn't seem too kosher to let me do the injection.
It seems like with the homeless
not
issue,
if she keeps the pills coming, we won't.
It seems like Reagan really fucked us on that homeless shit by shutting down all the asylums.
Come on, that's not the answer though.
That's a huge answer. These people are mentally ill.
You're
and
wanting
they
to
need
house
help.
them. No, you can't house them like so many medium shirts you'll never fit in again. You can't just tuck them away. So
first of all, I since I was 14, I've never fit into a medium. So
well, if not insane asylums, then are we back to the big slingshot idea? What do we do with the homeless?
I think that they need to be evaluated and triaged, and some of them need to be killed, and some of them some straight up liquidated. Some of them need to be. What is it when you make somebody work and do a job against their will? Whatever that is, but
slavery?
Not slavery. No, that's a bad. Not that. I like indentured servitude.
Forced labor?
Hard labor?
No, not that. Not hard labor either. Wacky.
No.
We'll call it crazy labor.
How about implied labor?
Oh my God.
Implied labor. The something like that. Some of them need to be destroyed. Some of them need to be put to work. We'll say, and then some of them could be rehabilitated. But you can't one size fits all this problem. Some of them will need to be launched from the St. Louis slingshot.
If that's what needs to be done, but I mean,
the kids
a lot of these people, St. Louis homeless, 99% of them need to be in an asylum somewhere because they're not a guy who lost his job and then is struggling. They're mentally ill and they're struggling and they really need some help. And so maybe we can provide that help.
Serious question. I'm not opposed to your thoughts, but I can't tell if they're schizophrenic, need mental help, or currently on something. Do you know the difference?
A lot of overlap. There.
Usually both.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Generally, if you're that level of destitute, there is a drug issue. Whether or not you're a truly crazy person who can't be rehabilitated or someone who could eventually be work at Barnes and Noble, who's to say? But regardless, a serious first world country does not allow the kind of people I see after every single Blues game hanging out outside of establishments. Like, that's not what a serious country does. You go, we have a mentally ill population. We need to care for them. We need to look after them. We need to put them in a place where they cannot harm themselves or others.
I don't know what your problem is. Raleigh just outlawed being homeless, so fixed it.
Well, Raleigh's a nicer city.
You had 3 homeless.
With 6 guys.
I also have some thoughts
Bill.
that like an asylum seems bad, but like I don't like the idea of, maybe it's just what I picture an asylum as being some like government hospital like tucked away outside a major city. I don't think anybody's getting well there. I kind of want to send them to like a camp in the Midwest, like in Montana.
You mean an actual camp, like maybe in woods, like a summer camp.
Yeah, exactly, like a summer camp. I want to give them
these
some
guys
outdoor
some
time,
macaroni, some craft glue,
outdoor time. Like get them out of that big city. They've been walking on concrete too long. They're walking on concrete far too long. Get them.
Yeah, this is gardening. Just a different kind of camp.
No, you get them away from the drugs. They're out in fucking bullshit Montana growing tomatoes or whatever.
They could take the train there.
Mm-hmm. And if they don't want to get on, we just kind of prod them a little bit and get them on there.
We can airdrop them. I don't care. Whatever the military wants to do, I just think that something needs to be done about them.
How could you be against sending homeless to asylums? It would help them. It would help the community.
I don't know what an asylum is, I guess. Like I would need, when I think asylum,
institution.
Can I interrupt? Because I bet you're thinking of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Of course. I'm thinking of a place where there isn't enough oversight. I'm thinking of stories in the past where people have gone undercover into asylums as journalists and they find them mentally incompetent and won't let them out.
Oh, Kitticut Follies.
I don't know that. What's your reference?
What is that?
That was a documentary that came out in the 60s about basically abuses in the New York State mental institutions.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like Kyle's idea. It even sounds cost effective. Like propping up log cabins in the woods as a way to like help people readjust, find their center, experience some sort of ego death. I don't know. It sounds like a good start.
Send them to Yellowstone. There's a lot of trash needs to be cleaned up. The bears won't mind.
Maybe don't put them back where they came from.
No, I would say
if you return someone who's in that position to where they were before, they'll return to their old lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
I could just imagine it's that if you get them out in the country and have them gardening vegetables and there's not another fix of heroin or whatever around the corner, you would just think that would be helpful. I don't know. They'd still want to get help, I think, but like the mental illness is a problem too. Some of it can be treated and some of it clearly can't. That's the ones you need to liquidate.
Well, it seems like we're pursuant to the same goal.
I want them off the street.
I don't want these people and their gibbers echoing off an underpass while I'm trying to get back to my car after a hospital.
Saxophone guy.
Gibbers is a fun word.
It is, and that is what it is. It's the gibbers of an insane person who is shirtless and more jacked than you would expect of a homeless person going. How
do they maintain that much mass?
They're clearly not hungry. When I was living in the city for a while, or not even downtown, I was living in Central West End, which is way shittier now than when I lived there in 2018. I learned firsthand the whole these, because you're liberal, you're thinking this and that, and you're like, these guys are just hungry. They just need food and water. And then you offer a homeless guy where he's like, man, you got $10? And it's like, no, but I'll buy you a sandwich from Coffee Cartel. I'll buy you a sandwich from Coffee Cartel right here. We can walk over. And he'll be like, man, fuck you. And it's like, all right, well, like, then I guess we're not doing this.
Cracker.
Yeah, just animosity.
My dad always helps. The homeless and people who are down on their luck in like his area though aren't like city hard drug homeless. It's usually some like older woman or older guy who's just sitting there by the dumpsters at McDonald's looking sad, and he'll just like, hey, you okay? Of course they're not okay. They're sitting by the dumpsters at McDonald's looking sad, but he'll drive them around town and buy them. He'll take them to the grocery store and fill their fridge up with groceries. He's always doing that. I don't trust those people, but he does. He likes doing good, I suppose.
Well, I mean, homeless, they're regional.
I didn't know homeless people had fridges.
Oh yeah, I was just about to say that.
Sometimes they're just down on their luck. You know, they're just like, they don't have a car, but they've got a place to stay. Then they're just kind of wandering the outside, begging for food, basically.
Yeah. Oh, that just sounds like a loser.
Let me know if y'all have any of y'all ever ran into this scam at a gas station where the person says, "Hey, I'm traveling, I'm heading this, there, or the other, and my card isn't working. Could you give me a little gas or a little gas money?" And they're waiting there at the pump. Has anyone ever done this to you?
Mm-hmm. No, I've had people try.
Yep. It must be someone got me with that scam when I was like 19, and then I can't. But it was right next to the bar where we drank every night, so that I was there the next night again, and there she was, still needing gas money to get to Florida, and I'm like, "You motherfucker!
I've been had.
I swiped my card and put $10 worth of gas in your card.
You tricked my ass."
Yeah.
Hopefully you did you hang up the pump afterwards?
Yeah, you know, I was 19 and she wasn't going to like clear the bank out too badly anyway.
I mean, it seems like we're all
limit or something. Yeah.
We're all largely on the same page of the homeless need to be moved somewhere. Like they got to,
whether they like it or not.
Literally, yes. Yeah. Like you need to move them into an asylum, or like you like a big farm for them to, make berries or whatever.
Trump win you back if he expanded ICE in a way that made them responsible for the unhoused. And he started using the exact same tactics and procedures and facilities for the homeless.
He's not even doing real deal mass deportations.
This guy's still not happy with the numbers.
The numbers are
lower than Obama's.
They're way too low. It's a farce. He's not doing real deal mass deportations. And he's also gay and hiding the fucking Epstein shit. And so fuck him. Fuck Trump. I hope this shit follows him. I hope it destroys him.
Till the
I would
of his
love
life,
to see. I would love to see. Yeah, for the next, however many months. Fuck him for covering for this pedophile shit. Fuck him.
If he survives this presidency, he won't be able to walk down the street without someone screaming pedophile at him. Like that's what he's done. And he doesn't know it yet. Like he doesn't know it, and his realization is going to be something to watch over the next months and days and years and whatever, because he still doesn't get it. When you see him speak publicly, he still doesn't.
Dude, he has no clue how many people like me who voted for him simply because we see the other side as totally unpalatable. Like, he thinks we're going to go along with it. It's like, fuck you. Like, you're hiding a pedophile ring right now. And you can say all this shit like, the Democrats could have released it when they were in power. It's like, no shit. Who cares? You're in power now. Release it.
I wish the Democrats had done better.
Pelosi's one of them. Like the mainstream Democrats seemingly are like afraid of them and theirs being.
They want to move past it too.
They all want to move.
Not
past
all
it.
of them. I mean, if you look at the House votes,
the ones that aren't
Democrats
implicated,
kind of line up for it. But
Pelosi,
dude, Schumer, Pelosi, and Hakeem Jeffries are some of my least favorite Democrats. I can hardly think of anyone less charismatic and able to get support from the bottom up. Top down, these are powerful people. Bottom up, no one's inspired by Schumer. I can hardly get through a Hakeem Jeffries video, and they're 90 seconds long. The guy dulls me instantly. So we need more charismatic leadership.
What's a fun fact about Anthony Blinken? Do you know who his dad was and who his childhood best friend was?
Both Epstein.
Anthony Blinken, who was, I believe, he was Biden's Secretary of State. His dad was Bob Maxwell's personal lawyer, and his childhood best friend was Ghislaine.
Jesus.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw the picture today of Ghislaine at Chelsea Clinton's wedding. Like those two were so well connected with everyone and at every level. It's wild.
Wait, so Anthony Blinken was tight with Robert Maxwell?
Anthony Blinken's dad was Robert Maxwell's like personal lawyer, like the way that Rudy Giuliani was for Trump. He was his guy, and allegedly as a
His
result,
top guy.
yeah, and as a result of that incredibly close relationship, Blinken and Maxwell spent a lot of time together, growing up, and were very, very close friends.
I heard Ghislaine is speaking to DOJ today about a possible deal or something.
Yeah, someone said that she might have been overcharged and that she didn't do as much as they said she did. So they're talking about sweetening up her deal.
Oh, yeah, that's the real miscarriage of justice. Is that
they're trying to correct
too hard on her.
She gets a reality show after this.
You're right, Tom. They were too mean. Is the real issue here is they were like, hey, you do your pedophile ring. We're going to try and not be too mean about calling you on it. Yeah. It's so top to bottom fucking corrupt.
Yeah, no, we gotta make room for the real victim here, Ghislaine Maxwell.
Which I think, personally, if she's really going to get away with all this, she should have to post tits.
She already has. You can go see them.
You can see those big old fucking honkers? I've only seen that picture of her with the woman who owns the Atlantic.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting there, looking at paperwork, and she's got those fucking melons, dude. And that makes me like her.
She seems like good people.
She seems like, dude, she's got fucking.
We wish her well, right? We gotta wish her well, just like our Lord Emperor.
Well, obviously, we wish her well because there wasn't a pedophile ring and there's no evidence, and so obviously it's totally hokum nonsense, right?
You do better, Zach. That nude is so bad we could show it.
Oh my God!
Are you sure that's not a Barbie doll? Did you take a picture
come on!
I'm not impressed with this. This is not good nudes.
I don't. I'll make it work, but
it's gonna take a lot of imagination. That's all I'm saying.
A good deal of imagination.
I've climbed taller mountains than this.
Isn't it a tiny bit upsetting though that it seems like every aspect of both parties of our political apparatus are totally blackmailed by a pedophile operation? I
would say it's a little bit more than a tiny bit upsetting.
I would say it's largely
they're being blackmailed by what two things go together? Maybe there's rampant support for Israel despite the war crimes and genocide. It's weird that those two things happen in parallel.
Really curious. It makes you see patterns.
One interesting thing is Epstein's
it all comes back to the
connection
skin bank and those cyber boars.
Oh, yeah, the Bill Barr connection is crazy.
What's the Bill Barr connection to Epstein?
Bill Barr was the one who got him his first job at, what school was that? Dalton?
It was his father. It was the Dalton School, and it was his father who wrote this very interesting book.
Yeah.
Bill Barr's father, A.G. Bill Barr, under Trump. Mm-hmm. Donald Barr wrote this book called Space Relations, which was essentially about human race going interplanetary and some people slipping off into space and having this federation or something like that. And to fight this alien invasion, this one guy is sent to negotiate with this one planet that's ruled by immortal oligarchs that will steal children and rape them.
That's merely circumstantial.
Is the planet? Are they from the planet Israel?
I haven't read the book.
In the Middle Eastern sector of the galactic core.
Why do so many of these conspiracies end in the same way? Where it's it seems to be this other country.
I don't want to say who it was.
You don't want to say
Irish.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what kind of doctor it was.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a Jewish doctor.
It was a Jewish doctor, which I still maintain is maybe the best and funniest delivery of a joke I've ever heard ever.
Yeah.
Where he was like, I'm not going to tell you what kind of doctor it was. It was a Jewish doctor.
he kept the secret for 4.5 seconds.
He can't resist. He just has to say about it. And it's very, very funny. But that is a frustrating
And now he's
thing
been vindicated, of course.
Yep.
Now he's been
Kanye vindicated.
If Kanye had popped off with all the all that crazy Nazi stuff, like after things got bad in Palestine, I think that it would have been much more well accepted. Everybody really railed against him in a unified front, debanking him and deplatforming him, and it seemed like his wife was going to leave him, although she has come back to him inexplicably now. That gorgeous Bianca Censori chick is once again on his arm wearing nothing, showing her hoo-ha to the world. And
she's mobbed up.
God, that's how I know that there is a God above us looking down, is Kanye's wife is still like flashing her asshole on the internet.
Well, also Kanye was like
doing God's work,
sharing graphics that were objectively wrong. Like he was sharing like day one babies conspiracy level stuff, and it's like he's like, get a look at this graphic. Look at all the red. Spooky, right? Those are the Jews, and it's like, I'm pretty sure that graphic has like Bob Iger listed like 30 times. like it's just not credible whatsoever. But that's what he's sharing, trying to get in on it. But yeah, I believe him that was a Jewish doctor. I trust him. There's a lot of Jewish doctors. They're smart and they're good at doctoring.
That, and then the comedy of him having that diamond swastika made by what must have been a Jewish jeweler, checks out. That could be a reality show episode that would be tremendous. Why doesn't he have his own reality show? Like, I couldn't give a shit less about the Kardashians. I've never seen a moment of that show. I might have seen screenshots of it on Reddit a time or two.
Yeah.
But a Kanye show? Oh my God. I'd tune into that every night. If it was just following Kanye around the world and Bianca's being a whore with him all the time and just him just going to China and putting on a show. I saw him thanking the government of China on Twitter the other day. Like, his life seems fascinatingly weird and entertaining. I want to watch what Kanye's up to right now.
He's one of the only people in the world that I think actually should be like an IRL streamer.
He probably would be good, as long as that big titted bitch is with him too.
Oh my God.
Bianca Censori, her family is real in with the Italian mob in Australia.
Really?
I'm not joking.
In Australia?
He's mobbed up.
Yeah.
It's a big thing.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I never even conceived that the Italian mob was operating in Australia. What's the story there?
Well, there was a lot of Italian immigrants to Australia after the Second World War. Like, I knew a guy who was like Italian living in Australia. There's a lot of like immigrant communities down there and stuff like that. But yeah, there was this whole thing with like a corrupt politician that would expedite these certain people's immigration like paperwork, and they all turned out to be part of the mob. And then they kind of got into drug trafficking from, I think, from the Golden Triangle, up there in like Thailand and all shit.
I have something to add. So Kanye West's wife, Bianca Censori, is the daughter of a notorious Australian gangster jailed for heroin dealing, and her uncle, dubbed Melbourne's Al Capone, was sentenced to death in the 80s.
Yep.
And then you scroll down and you can see her big old fat tits. Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Big fan of her.
I didn't know the Italian mob.
Pam Bondi's also mobbed up.
Pam Bondi. Tell us that.
I didn't know that, actually.
Like her one of her maternal grandparents was like part of a real heavy mob family. She has all sorts of weird connections a lot of people don't know about. Like heavily with like being a lobbyist for Qatar for a long time. Y'all have probably talked about that before, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But also Scientology.
Interesting. I don't picture them as a power player.
All the weird shit. they got so much money. There was one operation
Operation Snow White.
Yes, like Snowball or Snow White. What's going on with my camera? But like, they infiltrated. Why isn't it focusing? They infiltrated pretty much every like American police agency and deleted files related to their organization and structure.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it?
It looks like it's just in like 144p.
The government's trying to shut you down.
No, it's like
shutting you down.
Yeah. There's a reason I don't do
much
TikTok
better.
lives no more.
It
But,
says
like,
Operation Snow
there it
the
goes.
largest infiltrations of the U.S. government in history, with up to 5,000 covert agents. That's also Wikipedia, which is largely nonsense sometimes, but even so, if they're admitting to that, it could be even more. That's crazy. Damn. So Pam Bondi, she's
like
mobbed up.
Yeah, Pam Bondi's mobbed up. It's just the thing is, people don't understand that the Italian mob and a lot of these different organized crime groups in the United States, they never really went away. They just kind of formalized and became part of the power structure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
She seemed like such an upstanding citizen.
Well, Woody,
she's dumb as shit.
I think you should save your hat. Make sure you don't, throw that thing away immediately or anything, because I would love it if that became a part of the show going forward. If we could bring out the conspiracy hat regularly, it's incredible. Tell Jackie, that's a 10 out of 10 conspiracy hat she made. She shamed all.
It should
the
be a
other
different
hats
hat each time.
Thank you for saying so. When I saw it, I was afraid I would look silly, but it's good to know that the hat is terrific.
I never even put mine on because I was so embarrassed compared to your Titan hat.
I got an Admiral's cap made out of foil in the other room. I wasn't even about to bring it in here after I saw that fucking Dutchie. My goodness, look at that.
Love it.
Oh.
We went all out.
It really does look like that.
It's like one of those Kentucky Derby hats.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are there any, I know we're towards the end here, but are there any other fantastic conspiracies we can talk about, tap into while we have Tom and Brad here? Really interesting
I
ones?
can do something real quick.
Oh, okay.
Just bear with me for a second.
Pull it out. He's pulling his cock out.
I'll do that.
1 second. 1 second.
For those who
This
are
is
audio
PG
only,
television
he just showed us
here.
his dick.
He did.
Way bigger than Trump's South Park.
I think he's been fluffing it for the last few minutes, though. Just all cards on the table.
It's all green looking, though. It's really weird.
I thought that was glitter. Oh, he's got a.
Oh,
He's got a
Well, yarmulke. That's great. That's like a
that's
confluence with
tasteless.
so many.
No, I get to.
Oh yeah, you're Jewish, so you get to have fun with that.
Well, you say that first before you do that next time.
I said it earlier.
I didn't
I'm
hear you.
Irish, so
I'd have had my
rock
guard
this.
up if I'd known.
you would have believed his conspiracy.
He's secretly my hand.
I don't know. He seems to go pretty hard on Israel, so I wouldn't hold that against him.
All right. You guys ready to wrap?
Yeah, that was fun.
Check out our guests. Link in the description. PKA 762.